A good evening, high school football fans. We welcome you into the Village. It's homecoming tonight for the new Miami Vikings, and the Vikings will be hosting a division rival from the MVC Gray Division, the Lions of the Miami Valley Christian Academy. Joel Sackenheim along with Dr. Dan Vogt and our guest star tonight, Neal Sackenheim. My dad, the Faja, is in the building.
A vote between two sacks. I don't know what that means, but it's going to be pretty interesting.
No, nobody's up in the booth. It's the oldest sack between two brothers, I'd say, or father and son.
Yeah, father and son, and we got the cousin in there as well.
It's uncanny the same way.
Absolutely. Dan, let's talk a little bit about New Miami. They lost a lot of graduates last year. The Robinette brothers are both gone. Deonza Duncan is gone, and Coach Andy Stuckert has had to basically rebuild from scratch.
Yes, he has, and looking at their stats this year, New Miami's, they're in a rebuild. We'll just call it that. They're 1-6 this year. One win against Hilltop. It's nice to get a win there and not have a 0 in your record. They beat Hilltop in overtime earlier this year, 14-8. They have been shut out quite a bit, so the offense is a work in progress. And looking at the statistics this year for New Miami, looks like they are trying to establish the running game. The total yards for New Miami, rushing versus passing, probably 3-1, Joel. So we're going to see run, pound the ball here out on this classic grass field.
Neal, we talked with Coach Stuckert before the game. We met him on the field there. A lot of connections with the Krecky family and everybody else in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you know? I mean, obviously you are a basketball coach rather than a football coach, but you know about developing young recruits.
I don't know much anything about developing football players. I won't say anything about that. But I did hear some of that to the effect on the other side with MVCA. Coach over there, what's his name, Andy?
Russ Thiessen.
Russ, very personable guy.
Yep.
And he's on the increase with the number of players from last year to this year, and I congratulated him on that because I think that's a very important concept for being a successful coach as you get more people who want to play. I found Andy was very personable and easy to talk to, like one of the guys, and it was uncanny to know that he was related actually to a basketball player he married that I had coached way back in her 4th grade, and that's his wife. So
Allie Crosley. Allie Stuckert.
Yes. So
absolutely. We were here, Chris Vogt and I were here 2 years ago, the last time MVCA came to this field, and MVCA brought maybe 13 kids at most to that game, one of which was already on crutches, you could see early on. Then they had a concussion or two, and they ended up having to finish that game with only 10 players. So it was neat to hear Coach Thiessen's over at MCA talking about having 22 on his roster.
Did they win that game with 10 players?
No, New Miami won that game. That was, of course, Trey Jordan Robinette's junior year when they got the number 1 seed and went undefeated and ran the table.
Okay, I got
Absolutely. So, Dan, MVCA.
Their
coach Thiessen said he wanted to be a balanced offense, but you've been looking at the stats and you said don't let that fool us.
No, I'm going to just call them the Lions. MVCA is just too much alphabet for me, sir. So we're going to call them the Lions. This is the Vikings and the Lions here, okay?
NFC North Part 1.
Yes, and Sunday will be NFC North Part 2. And it will also be Vikings at Lions on Sunday, if anyone cares about the NFL here on this broadcast. Anyway, back to the Lions, the MVCA Lions. They're in the Miami Valley Conference also with New Miami. Both teams are at the very bottom, unfortunately, of the division. They're 0-2, both of them in the division. So MVCA, their coach, we spoke with him earlier. Nice guy, real personable guy. He said that they want to be a balanced team, and that's really what all coaches tell us, it seems like. But looking at the stats, MVCA, they have rushed this year for 1,038 yards, and they passed for 270. So there's an 800-yard difference there. So once again, you're going to see a lot of running here.
And Danny, maybe that's just a measure of passing success versus running success.
You're right, Neal.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe the quarterback is more comfortable running the ball, or you're right. Maybe their offensive line is geared to pound the ball.
New Miami Vikings take the field here on homecoming night. They are clad in their black home jerseys, and it's definitely been a nice crowd here.
Yes.
The honor goes to Jarek Holland, number 54. He ran across the field carrying the American flag.
And
yes.
Speaking of the American flag, it's time for us here to have the national anthem, it looks like.
Sierra Caven, clarinet 2019, Kristen Kohler, clarinet 2020, Mackenzie Gailsey, 2020, she's a guard, Abby Kolas, guard 2020, Rose Campbell, trumpet 2020, and Timmy Philpott, playing saxophone from 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for our alumni that are playing with the band tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country with freedoms like none other. We ask that you please rise and gentlemen remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem by our new Miami marching band directed Miss Gabby Gansey.
That's the New Miami Marching Band there with the Star-Spangled Banner on homecoming night here. A beautiful 73-degree night here in the village of New Miami. And Neal, what are you looking at here with the weather?
Oh, I'm just looking ahead. It's perfect for football. It's a little bit maybe humid, but we'll get down to about 66 degrees tonight, maybe down to 64 when we're finishing it up. So it's going to be very nice, comfortable football weather.
And compared to last year, when unfortunately we were limited by the COVID, we have a packed house here tonight. I'll tell you, this is
nice
fantastic.
to see the village rocking again.
It is rocking,
Everybody
Joel.
grabbing some Reds hamburgers on the way up here to the game.
Absolutely.
Big old tent down there past the north end zone where I guess they've got some homecoming festivities ready to roll. New Miami, go ahead.
MVCA also traveled well. The visitor stands over there are filled up pretty well.
Pack them up. The New Miami Vikings won the coin toss. They deferred, and so the Lions of Miami Valley Christian Academy, all 22 strong, will be returning the opening kickoff. Ball be placed on the tee by number 14. That would be, I don't have a 14 on our roster. McGraw?
Bo McGraw.
Bo McGraw, number 14. He's a write-in vote on your ballots. There's the kick. Short, returned.
Nice tackle.
And it looks like that was Nick Beckham, the up man, who recovered that kickoff and started returning it.
And that was Dawson Hayes on the tackle there. He's a running back and an outside linebacker. One thing about these Division 7 boys, they go both ways, and this is old school. I love it.
Don't have a lot of opportunities there to sub out and get certain players in certain areas.
That's right.
Well, the ball is on the ground at the 41, heading east.
Heading south.
Is it south? Oh, that's all the sunset to the west.
It's kind of a catty corner stadium. 127 kind of runs up alongside of us there. Yeah, interesting.
Well, viewers, I got to just keep you guessing.
Here's the handoff. It's up the middle for about 4 or 5 yards.
They haven't blown the whistle yet. Rugby scrum.
Finally, forward progress stopped. Give credit there to Ethan Hudnall, the running back for the Lions, digging what was going to be a 3-yard gain, ends up being about 7.
It looked like Cameron Foister had a handful there. He was one of the main people in the middle for the tackle for the Vikings.
Congratulations to the Butler County High School Sports Report for putting a camera in here. So we'll try to talk a little less and let the camera do the work for us. But we're used to doing radio broadcasts, aren't we, Joel?
TV broadcast is a little different than radio.
Yes,
I learned
it is.
that from Lanny Fratteri, who used to be the voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Elijah Walters, quarterback for the Lions, goes ahead and fakes the handoff to Hudnall, gives it instead to Elijah Snow, number 8. He's across the line to gain for a first down and across midfield for the Lions.
Looked like an old-fashioned crossbuck play.
Yes.
All the backs cross in front of one of the other for the handoff.
Confuses the defense, right?
Yeah, that's right. Bouncing a basketball between your legs. Yeah.
Snow is definitely their best running back, averaging over 5 yards a carry this year. Other running backs on the team are 3.9 and less, so Snow is the man in the backfield.
Snow is the man, and 9 out of 10 dentists agree.
We have a false start there. Yes, the left tackle.
Ethan Farmer.
Right tackle. Sorry, right tackle.
Ethan Farmer, a senior captain. I love MVCA's roster. They've tried to put parenthesis C parenthesis for a captain. It ended up being Ethan Farmer is copyrighted.
He is copyrighted.
He's a legend. There's only one.
There's only one Ethan Farmer.
If we say his name too much, we have to pay him royalties, Joel.
That's right. Well, Chris Vogt will have to pay him royalties, right? He can take it out of our salary.
Yeah. Our salaries is fine. Thank you.
I feel sorry for his wife in the future because you can't copyright the farmer name and when he gets married.
Ooh.
Well, the problem with his dating life is that there's not a whole lot to choose from on farmersonly.com. You know? There's just one guy from MCA.
That's good, Joel.
Incomplete pass there on second down.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, I wish we could get the new Miami Viking mascot. I did not see this gentleman last year. He's about 4'2". He is fantastic.
He's pepping the shorts.
He looks like the new Miami little person.
Second down.
I was
and
politically
15.
correct.
That's right. Fake handoff. There's your crossbuck again, Neal, that you like. That one instead goes to Hudnall, not to Snow. And Hudnall's going to punch it forward for about 6 yards.
Okay, well, interesting here, guys. Third down now. Looks like 8 or 9. That was a nice running play. It got him out of that big hole. So what do you think, guys? I'm saying another run to set up a 4th and short. What are you guys going with here?
I will go with the crossbuck again. It's been 2 for 2 so far.
All right, Joel?
I mean, if you wanted a chance to pass, this would be a good opportunity to try it.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. If you're planning on going for this on 4th down, you might want to bite off half of the bone here.
Okay, let's see what they do.
And this is the handoff to Snow up the middle.
Didn't
a
get
direct
much.
fullback trap, and he is met.
Oh, we got a flag, Joel.
Damian Pennington brought him down first, and then a couple other Vikings joined him, and a late flag thrown by the side judge.
Ooh.
And this might be on New Miami on the tackle, maybe a face mask, perhaps.
It's definitely a face mask.
Well, there goes your first down.
It's a 5-yard face mask.
Yeah, high school's a little different. It took me a while to get used to that, so it'll still be a 3rd down, Neal.
Is it always 5?
There's a 15 variety and a 5 variety, like the NFL used to have back in the day. Which
Yeah.
was the
Inadvertent.
incidental face mask versus the personal foul of consequence face mask.
Well,
he got 1 yard on the carry. They're going to tack 5 yards on for the face mask and give him the down back. So 3rd and 3 now.
Now it's 3rd and tempting at the 38.
We have a
Vikings.
timeout here.
And it looks like the referees are going to huddle and discuss something. This might be about the spot of the football if they don't like what they did there. And the umpire and the side judge have huddled.
And now they both know what they're going to have for dinner after the game. Here we go.
They may have been discussing the down. Does Miami Valley Christian Academy get to keep the down or not? They are keeping the down. It is 3rd down and 3 here. And this is a toss sweep.
Nice
over
play.
to Huddle.
Good D there.
Tried to get around the edge, and he's not going to quite have enough of the first down, but it's going to set up a fourth and really short.
Tug Jones got in there on that tackle. And I guess my new favorite player, Jarek Holland, number 54, yet again.
There you go. With a name like Tug, he's got to be good. All right, 4th and 1, my favorite play.
You like the quarterback.
I love a sneak here.
This is a very long one, Dan.
That's okay. Let's see how many guys are close to the line of scrimmage.
Looks like it's about at least 1.5 yards.
All right, of course, they're in the shotgun on no, he's not. Is he behind the center here? He's in the shotgun.
Elijah Walters is indeed in the shotgun. He's got a running back
Oh.
off the side, and this might be a false start.
It is.
New Miami's bench is clapping. That's a good sign for the Vikings.
Time to punt.
I don't know, Neal. We'll
It's pretty
see.
deep, that's true.
Well, I haven't scouted their punting, so I really don't know if their kicker can, get it inside the 20 accurately.
Backs them back out to the 42.
And a timeout being taken by the Lions.
I think they're going to have a heated discussion over here whether they're going to punt it or not. We'll see what happens.
Well, let's have that discussion here amongst the three of us.
Sure, no commercials here on the Butler County High School Sports Report.
That's right, absolutely.
Where you get free football.
Free content. So your ball's at the 41-yard line.
Right.
Now, in the NFL or college, your punter is somebody that's going to try to cough and corner this thing, and you try to pin them really deep. But
you're seeing them now kick it high, and the ball actually backspins, which is fine.
But with Division VII high school football, and you're right, Dan, I've not seen MVCA's punter any more than any of us have. It's very possible you try to punt the ball, and if it doesn't go far, you get the ball at the 20-yard line anyway.
Right.
So you look at what the risk is, how much yardage can we gain. If you don't think you can gain a lot, do you think you can get 6 yards on some play in your playbook?
I think. Look at this. No punter out there now.
Well, throw up the coin for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Shotgun formation. Elijah Walters has Elijah Snow. Elijah squared in the backfield for MVCA.
Oh.
And Walters is wrapped up and breaks the tackle. He's going to try to get around the end. He stretches the ball out as far as he can. And I don't know that the side judge is going to give him the spot. He really tried. He's going to be out of bounds about 2 yards short, and that's going to be Viking football.
Good job by New Miami holding him there, but that play was kind of messed up from the beginning. If you look, well, it's hard to tell, but maybe you saw on the screen the center exchange to the quarterback was juggled, so it kind of messed up the continuity of the play there.
I was a little messed up there. I thought Walters was in the shotgun, but he was just hiding really tight behind the center. He had 2 running backs behind him on the play.
Yeah.
Poor center exchange, had to try to scramble around the side, ended up being marked out of bounds about 2 yards short of the line to gain. And so New Miami's defense holds on for their first drive. And now here comes the wishbone formation. This is really tight.
Very Maloney.
Moffitt is going to hand this ball to Jaden Strong. And Jaden Strong has a decent first down run, except for some laundry on the field thrown by the referee behind the play. And Dan, yes, that is exactly the area where you would expect to see offensive holding.
And not a good way to start when you're a run-dominated team, despite the fact that the coaches love to be balanced.
We've not seen a passing play yet this game.
Well, one overthrow by the Vikings. There was one.
Well, to be fair, MVCA was very balanced on the first drive. They gave the ball a third of the time to Snow, a third of the time to Walters, and a third of the time to Huddle.
That's balanced running, yeah.
All right, let's see if they can maybe snuff out 6 or 7 yards on a run here and go from there.
Once again, wishbone tight formation here. Double tight end. Actually, one wide receiver way off to the side. That's a handoff that goes to Dawson Hayes. Dawson Hayes, the freshman, gets the carry.
Freshman, Dan. Yeah.
We both said it, yeah.
And that's going to be 2nd down and 12 now for the Vikings.
So they got that 7 yards I was asking them to get. That's great.
Again, one wide receiver to the top of your viewing screen, and everybody else bundled up really, really tight. This is, again, Hayes trying to stumble off tackle. And he is met at the bottom of the pile. Coming up, holding his arm there.
Ian Hola got him.
Ethan Holda. Yeah, Hola.
Ethan.
Yes. You got the first name wrong, I got the last name wrong. Between the two of us, we'll get it right, Ethan.
That guy made the tackle there. All right.
There are 4 different Ethans and 2 Elishas on this roster. For
If
the
your
Lions.
name is E, you're going to be a player. There's a pass.
Here we go.
He's got him open.
Scrambling. He's
got him. He underthrew it.
Not good.
Oh, it's picked off.
Elijah Snow, and that ball was thrown down into quadruple coverage.
I know, but he was open for a while there. He just threw it late. I mean, he had clearance by 2 or 3 yards there. He underthrew him, and he threw it late. So that was the disaster.
Need a little more air under that ball.
Should have released it earlier, too.
I didn't catch who the intended receiver was on that play, but you're right. He had a couple yards of separation.
Yeah, he did.
The ball could have been thrown ahead of everybody.
Right.
That was not happening on that particular pass play, and that might be why they ran it on 1st and 2nd down.
Well, I think it's going to be who wants it at the line of scrimmage here, guys. I think you're going to see pound, run, and who wills it. Who wants to control the line of scrimmage? That's what this game's going to be all about.
Terry Malone says, sign me up.
Yes.
1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 45-yard line. This is where they begin drive number 2 here at the Village, Merrifield. Handoff goes to Elijah Snow, who just made the interception on defense. He is absolutely stacked up. Damian Pennington was the one that stacked him up vertically, but there were a couple others around his knees already grabbing on there. And so it's going to be a 2nd down and 11.
I saw Doug Jones in there again. Seems like I have a roster of 2 or 3 people in front of me. I keep calling the same names.
It's because these are running plays and these are defensive linemen that you're calling out.
Right in the middle.
Absolutely. They're standing up nicely, and they're going to try to make MVCA throw the ball.
I'll tell you, if you look at the defensive line just on the TV screen, you can see the weight difference there New Miami has over the Lions, or the Vikings, I'm sorry.
Passing play is complete to the short sideline. Ian Dooley comes down with the catch, and he is tackled by Jaden Strong out there in space. 11 on 11.
That was a nice pass play. I mean, that got a lot of the yardage back. It put him into a makeable 3rd and 5 here.
Neal, you like a pass or run on 3rd down and 5 from midfield?
Well, the pass was successful. I'd like to see him throw to the other side.
Ooh.
They got the wide side of the field over there, a little more room.
Of course, I'm playing checkers while you guys play chess.
Oh.
Yep, there they are. They're slotted
got
out
2
to the
receivers
right.
out there.
Yeah, slot right. Neal made the call. Alcoa presents.
Well, we'll find out. Yeah.
Oh, that
Botched handoff.
That was
and
a botch.
finally into the hands of Elijah Walters. That was the cross buck, except he bucked the wrong way.
He got bucked off the horse in the backfield.
Yes,
No, I'm way ahead of you guys. It was actually a crossed up.
A crossed up. I
They
like
all
that.
got all crossed up in the backfield there. And
All right.
It's a 4th and 5. The ball is at midfield.
Look at the Vikings. They're really trusting their defense here, guys. No punt at all. Here they go, 4th and 5.
Yep, the Lions have a offense on the field here. And Elijah Walters is under center with his 2 running backs, Snow
my lines
and
of Vikings
Hudnall. This is a passing play, and it's going to be complete.
Nice.
Ian Dooley on the button hook. That was the play you wanted on 3rd down. They got it on 4th, Neal.
on the right. I told you.
Should have gone to the right.
I should have gone to the right.
Nice tackle by Braden Robinette there, and that's the name we've heard so many times the last few years with his brother at quarterback. What a great career his brother had.
Both of them, right? Jordan and
that's
Trey.
Right. That's
Trey
right.
was the quarterback, and Jordan was a running back.
You got to have a Robinette on New Miami. It's just a tradition. I don't know how many kids they have, but that's cool.
MVCA
He's the
flipping
baby,
the formation. So they got the receivers now to the left side. Handoff to Snow up the middle, and he is wrapped up by Nathan Civarella. Big old number 10, the linebacker there. Got him, snuffed him out for only a gain of 2 yards.
That's too bad that wasn't Tug, because that's exactly what he did. He tugged him backwards when he met him. Always like a tackle like that. It stops you cold and drops you like a dish rag.
No forward progress given from the point of contact. It's nice to see that.
And feet on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Too much NFL players are diving at people and they miss tackles.
You lose your leverage, don't you, Neal?
Fundamental, lose your feet. Not good.
2nd down and 7 now for the Lions, and the handoff goes to Hudnall. Hudnall's going to try to scrape his way through there and gets about 3 or 4 yards.
That's what they wanted. It's setting up a easily makeable third down run opportunity. We're thinking ahead here, of course.
Ethan Hudnall on the tackle.
Ethan Hudnall was the running back.
Oh, I got my wires crossed too.
Tug Jones on the
Jones,
tackle.
there's my favorite
15.
Tug Jones now.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A fast-moving first quarter.
We had 11 on 11 earlier and 15 on 15 there.
And few passes will make a fast quarter.
You got that right.
3rd and 3 for the Lions. Cross buck.
Again.
Handoff goes to Snow.
He's short.
And Elijah Snow ends up about maybe a yard at most away from the marker to gain there. It's going to set up a 4th down and short. No doubt if they didn't punt it on 4th and 5 at midfield, they're not going to punt it here.
No, and I would love to see the quarterback behind the center and sneak it here. I just, when they're in the shotgun and then they run out of that, kind of, you're getting 4 yards when they could get 1.
And Danny, I've seen a couple cases where there was piles of people pushing forward. So
he's under the center. We might have that sneak.
Yeah, it sounds doable.
Elijah Walters under center. Handoff.
He got
It's
it.
a trap run. That is Hudnall. And Hudnall is going to have just enough, not by a lot more, but he got just enough. Clock will stop to reset the chains as a 1st down will be called for the Lions.
If the players out there seem to be kind of slow-footed, it's not their athletic ability. We walked out on this field and talked with the coaches before the game. Being a natural grass field, it did rain earlier, you guys, and it is a very long field. If that was my yard, I would have cut it, okay? Very, very, very long grass.
And you would have hugged the bag stickers in the garage of your dad.
Right. Thank you, Joel.
I would bet it's short.
They are going to measure it.
Oh.
It looked like he had it.
Gave it to him.
And they
Okay.
that was a closer spot than I thought he was going to have.
I thought he had it by about a half a yard, too, Joel. That was...
Little nerve-wracking there for Lions fans watching. Well, it is the Lions. If the referees find a way to get them on the wrong side.
Yeah, like 66-yard field goals that shouldn't be kicked to begin with because a delay game on the previous play wasn't called. Yes, I am a suffering Lions fan. That is for
Halftime
sure.
score from Stargell Stadium in Cincinnati. Aiken and Taft 0-0 at the half.
Now, isn't Taft a pretty strong team? I think they're undefeated or 5-0 or 5-1 or something.
Taft is a Division 5 school. I'll get you their record here in a second as the fake handoff
Pass.
goes. This is the play action.
Oh, he's got him.
He's looking for a man. Overthrown. Intended for Ian Dooley there, his favorite receiver. Must be playing him in fantasy tonight as quarterback. Every pass attempt seems to be going to Dooley. That one just over the hands. Taft is 6-0 with a COVID out bye in Week 5. They're playing Aiken. They are first place right now in Division 5, Region 20.
And we'll discuss the playoff situation of both these clubs probably at halftime because if you want your playoff information for high school football, Joel Sackenheim is the man for that.
Handoff to Elijah Snow.
Boom.
And Snow is trampled upon. Once again, Neal Tug Jones.
Got him. Yeah.
Tug Jones and Jarek Holland. Do you want to bury a snowman?
Tug had his Wheaties before he came out tonight. Does anyone eat Wheaties anymore?
I don't know.
I haven't
I've
seen
not
a
had
box
Wheaties.
of Wheaties in forever.
Yeah, I
Well,
haven't
you got to
either.
pour sugar on them, you know, and
Yeah.
all that work. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Wheaties, grape nuts,
I'm a Frosted Flakes guy.
Frosted
It's
Flakes.
already frosted.
Yeah.
They've already done the hard work.
Yeah,
just eat.
you get that sugar high right off the bat.
Ooh.
No Def Leppard have poured some sugar on me there, right?
They're great.
They're great.
They're not
Yeah.
recommended by this dentist.
Handoff goes to Hudnall through the middle. That was 3rd and 10, and they gained more than half of it. That set up another makeable 4th down. That's probably going to be the last play of quarter number 1 here.
That is a fast-moving quarter, folks.
Damian Pennington, I think, was at the bottom of that block.
6'2", 225 pounds. Defensive
He's
lineman.
one of the bigger ones on the line.
In the first quarter, Chris Vogt has tweeted out that the Fairfield Indians lead Mason 7-3.
Okay, Chris is over there for that game.
Jenna had homecoming to worry about.
Yes, we're homecoming for Fairfield.
End of the first quarter, another Cincinnati Public School game. The West High Mustangs 6-0 over Big Red Hughes. How about that? We've seen 3 scores, and 2 of them are Cincinnati Public Schools. That is something you cannot say every day. They don't tweet their scores out often. They're doing it tonight. End of the first quarter here in the Village. It's the Vikings and the Lions tied at 0. Rob Schaff will be right back on the Butler County High School Sports Report Television Network.
OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media. Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
We are back at the Village.
No, you're back. We've been here.
That's right, George Carlin. That's right.
He was on Johnny Carson one night, sitting behind the desk, subbing in for Johnny Carson. He was on maybe 3 nights a week back then.
Yeah.
And that was so funny to hear him say that. You're not back. You're back. That's what he had it wrong.
We're not back.
We've been here.
Good old George Carlin. I'll tell you, he was talented.
He just actually, honestly, human behavior. He took it in and he just talked about it, and those are the funniest things. Just plain old human behavior.
Yep.
They truly are. 4th down coming up here. First play of quarter number 2 at Mara Field. As the Vikings head northwestward, right, Neal?
Northwestward.
We'll go northwestward.
Very, very big play here for the New Miami defense. Let's see if they can hold.
3 receivers.
There you go.
First time we've seen that for for MVCA. They've only got 2 Vikings guarding them. That's a delay of game. The back judge called that penalty.
Wow.
Coming out of a quarter break, you're going to have a delay of game. You don't see that every day.
Damian Pennington really liked that. He was heartily clapping.
He enjoyed that a little too much.
Now I only have to stop him within 10 yards instead of 5. He's feeling pretty good about that.
Oh, my goodness. You ended up, that formation, there were 3 receivers out there and only 2 defenders for New Miami. That was a play. If they could have snapped it and gotten a quick toss, you might have been able to punch a touchdown out of that. Let's see if they line up in the same formation.
Well, I wonder if they're calling the same play.
And we'll see if New Miami changes up. They've still got only 2 defenders out there.
Oh, we have another. What's this?
And this is a timeout, MVCA. So they've now had a delay of game and spent a timeout. That's painful.
At least they didn't do a Bengal. They didn't call it until the second quarter.
Taking a look here at Region 28 playoff here. New Miami is tied for 21st. And again, I apologize for the small font, but there are 28 teams in this region. That's a lot to look at.
And the top 16 folks make the playoffs.
Top 16 make it. Miami Valley Christian Academy is at 15th right now.
Okay.
So if the season were to end before tonight, MVCA would be playing Tri-Village on the road, the Patriots, in the first round of the playoffs. New Miami would be out.
And New Miami's down here. Yeah, good.
22.
So New Miami needs to kind of win out, I think, to jump up there.
I would think 2 out of 3 might be enough to do it.
Okay.
This is a winnable game tonight. It's 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. They've only won 1. 3 wins might make it. 4th and 10. And there is the quick toss.
Ooh, he's got him.
And he had him. And he had the open man, and he dropped it. Ethan Hudnall, the throw was a little behind him.
Yeah.
The better throw is a touchdown on that play.
Exactly.
That was.
I'm a little surprised that after a delay of game and after a timeout, New Miami still only had 2 defenders guarding 3 receivers out there.
I think he had 10 yards to his left or his right. If it would have been thrown in stride, he'd have been gone.
He was so open, you wonder why he just didn't throw a soft rainbow up there, you know? Almost like a punt.
The guy that had him in man coverage was actually the safety at the top and middle of the field. He was hustling on his rear end to get all the way over there, but there's no way he would have gotten there in time.
No way.
That's interesting to look at.
Maybe it's a wide open layup type thing, and you say, oh my gosh, this is too good to be true, and you blow it.
Or you underthrow it and try not to overthrow it.
Morgan Sackenheim playing quarterback. There's a toss sweep to Jaden Strong, and Strong has a strong run for about 7 yards out past the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd down and 3 for the Village.
I'm just trying to find me a MVCA tackler, and I think it's Ethan Hudnall again.
There we go. Again, all of these guys playing both ways because Division 7 football, this is the way it works. There's a rollout for Moffitt. He's trying to run left. He's going to go ahead and tuck this and run.
Good open field tackle by Peyton Johnson. Tracked him down.
Well done there. Peyton Johnson. What's his number there,
22.
Neal? Nick Beckham.
What did I do? Did I get him
You
mixed
got New
up
Miami's
again?
roster up there.
Now, Nick Beckham. Nick Beckham is the leading tackler for MVCA. So 22 Nick Beckham, he has been their main force.
Wishbone formation. This is a fullback dive right up the middle, and a beastly dive it is.
Yes.
That's big old Nathan Civarella, 5'9", 195-pound senior tight end defensive lineman, and in this case, fullback.
Well, I got my pages right. Ethan Geiger in the middle of all that tackling for the Lions.
1st down and 10 for New Miami approaching midfield. Handoff.
Oh,
This is Hayes.
it's looking good.
And Dawson Hayes picks up another 6 yards.
It just feels like a whole lot of momentum now. Wind behind the Vikings' wings here. There, a couple of good long running plays.
Yeah, I think that stop by the defense, Neal, inspired the offense to go out there and kick some butt, and they're doing it.
Hurry up offense here. They're right back up to the line very quickly.
I like it.
And this is a passing play.
Yes.
Moffitt's going to scramble.
Run it,
He's got
run it,
room. He's
run
going to
it.
run it.
Oh.
And a hold behind the play. And I think that was Jacob Mills that just nicked the Miami Valley Christian Academy defender back there enough to spring Moffitt free.
And in high school, as Joel has told us a few times this year, it's from the spot of the hold. So this is going to end up being, my goodness, 25-yard penalty.
Well, about an 11-yard penalty or so, because see the line of scrimmage there's where the 2 is. You see the flag.
Yeah.
The referee's picking it up. They're going to mark it off from the flag, not from the line of scrimmage.
Right, I'm just saying, didn't they get all the way down to the 30-yard line?
Correct. All that was negated.
Right,
Yeah.
so if he wouldn't have held, by holding it, it went from the 30 all the way back to the other 40.
Net loss there. is what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
20-something yards.
We got 12 yards of penalty yardage there, but a net loss of far more than that. That's correct.
That's what's painful about it.
Yeah. 2nd down, 15 now for the wishbone offensive Vikings. Toss, sweep, Strong to the weak side.
To the short side?
To the short side of the field, yep.
He's going to the right.
And he ran out of real estate there on the short side. They're trying to cross up the Lion defense, who were not really fooled on the play.
Yeah, that was Isaac Chastain on the tackle, a freshman, number 67. Big kid for a freshman. He's got
225.
Yeah, for a freshman.
Beefy.
He's going to be a big kid when he gets a senior.
Still a long way to go with 3rd down.
We'll see how aggressive Coach Stuckert wants to play this here in a 0-0 game. It is a pass play for Moffitt.
He's got
he buys
time.
himself
He might
time.
run
He's
it.
going to scramble. He's going to get about 10 yards. That's a nice chunk of a run. And again, this puts them not into automatic punting situation. They could opt to go for this if Coach Stuckert were to choose so.
And we got a player down there, and this is an important player for the Lions. That's Elijah Snow, yeah.
And he's kind of clutching his knee.
Oh, that's not good to see.
Definitely not. The training staff is out there looking at Elijah Snow's.
Elijah Snow is 5th in the MVC in rushing this year, so in the entire conference, he's right up near the top. So hopefully, for their sake, he can get off the field. Maybe it's a cramp if he's fortunate.
End of the first quarter at Virgil Schwarm Stadium. Coleraine and Hamilton tied at 0. How about that for Big Blue?
Yeah.
Up north, end of the first quarter, the St. Mary's Memorial Rough Riders lead Elida 14-7. Dan and I know all about Western Buckeye League. We went up there and called Monroe and Elida last year.
Yes, we
2
did.
2 hours away up in the Lima area for a playoff game.
Beautiful field, I'll tell you that. Elida was just absolutely flabbergasted they lost that game.
That was a grass field, and that looked like, I mean, Danny got up.
I could not believe it was grass.
That's how beautiful it was.
It looked like the Wimbledon courts in tennis before they started a match.
Prettiest grass I've seen outside of maybe the Rose Bowl.
I've never seen the Rose Bowl.
I've never been there. I've just seen it on television.
On television,
yes.
Yeah, I believe you.
Edgewood leads Talawanda 14-0. That game will be over fairly quickly as Edgewood continues to churn points.
Fourth down here.
Fuller.
This is a big play. 4th down and 5.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to both sides of this. Only a 5-man line. See if they can protect Moffitt. Quick slant. It's dropped by Strong.
Perfect hit.
Ethan Farmer, copyright.
Copyright, yeah.
That was a copyrighted defensive stop by Ethan Farmer.
Farmers only on the defense, and play broken up.
I'd say that Farmer had a nice little harvest there.
Indeed.
Brought in the guy, dropped the ball, caused the hit. I think was very instrumental in him dropping the ball.
Very much so. Very much so.
He heard the footsteps,
Yeah.
right, Neal?
Oh, I think it was impact, Dan.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff we love.
Here's a Dayton
Football's
Public Schools score. Trotwood Madison leads Dunbar 8-0.
Dunbar?
Dunbar, yes. Dunbar. That's right. End of the first quarter, Fairfield leads Mason 7-3. Chris Vogt tweeting that one out.
Any Saturday games tomorrow of consequence?
Hey, give me a second, I'll pull it up and take a look.
All right.
Hand up goes up the middle, and that I'm going to guess is Hudnall.
It's a good guess.
See if Snow comes back into the game at any point in time.
Yeah, I
or
think
not.
he was able to get off the field on his own power.
That is indeed Hudnall on the carry, who gets about 3 yards. Saturday games. St. Ignatius at Moeller.
That's a big game.
Woodward at Withrow in the Cincinnati Public School League. Game in this league, Miami Valley Conference, Lockland at St. Bernard Elmwood Place. Those are New Miami's last 2 opponents playing each other.
I bet you they'll be up there scouting those guys.
I will scout that. 2nd down and 7. Handoff. This is to Ethan Farmer. Farmer filling in for Snow in the backfield.
Good old Jarek Holland on the tackle. He's in the middle. I think he's their center on offense.
Their nose tackle and center on offense.
He is in the middle all the time.
It's right in the middle of everything.
Lots of opportunity.
2 other games that are of less consequence but do factor into second-level points in Division 7 for New Miami on Saturday. McDermott Northwest at Franklin Furnace Green and Millersport at Steubenville Catholic Central. There's your full Saturday lineup, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Games that matter. There are 161 games taking place yesterday, tonight, and tomorrow that factor into our 7 regions here in southwestern Ohio. Pump fake.
He's
trying to get behind.
Oh, yes.
And he does. Pass is complete from Elijah Walters
13
to Noah Kroger. Walters says, let's go Krogering down the left sideline.
And an Elijah Snow update. I was looking over on the sidelines, and he's pacing back and forth. I think he's all right, and I think he wants to get in there. So that's good news for MVCA.
I want to say, Joel, if my math's correct, about a 30, 34, 35-yard completion.
Right down the left sideline. Good stuff. 1st and 10 now for the Lions. Handoff to Farmer. Bounces off a tackle. Strung out to the weak sideline.
Running hard.
And he's going to run out of room there after a gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
Slippery when wet. Tell you, he was very slippery trying to get him down.
Jared Caldwell coming back into the game now for the Vikings. Big old number 68. If you look at him, Dad, he is a 300-pounder.
Oh, put him in.
He's
like
now
going
to be lining up as the nose tackle there
He
on the
is.
defensive line, or one of the 2 defensive tackles. I think if they go 3-4
Wow.
or 3.
And to think we thought Refrigerator Perry was big in 84 when he was 305. Now they're in high school that age.
300
that size.
pounds.
Yeah, and Perry was one of the few that was over 300 pounds that far back in the NFL.
Yeah, he was.
Handoff to Snow was back in the day.
Boy, Snow, you can tell Snow is fine with those shifty moves.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Snow gets a little bit of a flurry. and finally falls at the for only just short of the first.
It's 64 degrees and rainy out there, Joel. None of that snow reference, sir.
None of the snow reference?
Just giving you a hard time.
The great Vince Lombardi be very proud of Snow. The way he ran it. Run to daylight.
That's
he
right.
Shifted left, right, left, and got through.
Third down and a short 2 here for the Lions.
It's going to be a run.
Here is the handoff to Snow. Looking for a hole, and he
Oh.
backwards.
No.
Jaden Strong
He was strong there, Joel.
stops all progress there,
Oh, man.
and it's going to be a 4th and short. We've seen a lot of 4th down conversion attempts in this game already. Not a punt yet.
No, we're down to 5 minutes to go here in the first half of a scoreless, defensive, run-oriented, in the mud game. Well, no mud yet.
You got to like this.
Oh, it's old school.
It is.
We'll see again. We got man coverage on the 2 receivers spread out wide. Miami Valley Christian Academy, long splits there. Look at 55 and 64, how far apart they were lined up. And MVCA is going to take their final timeout of half number 1. So they are done with timeouts now in the first half. Looks like at the Schwarm, Caleb Johnson with a 62-yard touchdown run. The Hamilton Big Blue lead Coleraine 6-3.
Wow.
They went for 2. It was no good.
Why would you do that? You want to be up by 4, right?
It does say conversion run failed. Now, that could be a bad snap.
I would hope so. You want to be up by 4. I watched Dallas last weekend, and they went for 2 to be up 15-7, and they got it.
Up at Glass Stadium, Luke Chandler, a 9-yard touchdown pass to Quentin Johnson. The Chaminade Julian Eagles take a 21-7 lead over the Baden Rams.
Oh,
my goodness.
10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Up there, Rick Casana reporting from Dayton. Lots of ball game left. Ross Rams are now up 20-7 over Harrison, and their student section is going nuts there.
That's the most points that Baden has given up the entire season, and they're still in the first half.
Absolutely. CJ's passing offense, that is something that Baden has not seen. All these teams coming in trying to run the ball against that stout Rams defense. 4th and 2 now as we're back from the timeout. It's quarterback keeper, and that is Walters, and he has enough yardage, and that's going to be a first down for the Lions, moving the chains.
Looks like the Lions do not want to try any field goal attempts. I guess with the wet field, probably a smart move going for it there on 4th and 2.
Hard to know how good everybody's kickers are.
Yeah, that's
Division
true.
7 level. Looks like the Lions have lost, 5 of the last 6 games, but a lot of 8s, a lot of 6s on their scoreboard, so I don't know that they have a kicking game at all.
Yeah.
They may be going for 2 if they can punch this ball into the end zone here. They're just outside the 10-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring. That is a zone read, and Elijah Walters keeps it. He's going to gain about 6 there for the Lions.
It's a nice pickup on first down.
We're down below 4 minutes left to go in the first half of play. Still scoreless here from the Village, Merrifield. Joel Sackenheim, Dr. Dan Vogt, and Neal Sackenheim. Glad to have you with us here on this television broadcast.
I was a junior. My dad's name, same as mine. Guess I'm a senior now. 60-plus years old.
Timeout taken by the Vikings, New Miami. Neal, you were saying while we were on the field earlier tonight walking that you actually ran track here at this facility. And if you look, the old track has kind of been asphalted over on this side, and then it becomes dirt as you go around the backside of the end zone there. Kind of looks like old ancient Roman ruins of something that used to exist but no longer does.
Well, I'm about that age, so that fits about right for me.
It
was a cinder track, and it was like the field tonight. It was a slow track. You hated when you ran in the rain because you'd kick up cinders and you'd be pelted with little black spots on your singlet, on your jersey. I was used to that a lot because it didn't exactly finish first every time. I had a cinder dinner, if you would. But no, I burnt this one up. I cruised in about 5.5-minute mile, and that was really not very fast. So it must have been New Miami. They were nice to me.
This is a pass play.
Ah, nice.
Very easy Little pass there. It looks like Ethan Hudnall was the intended receiver. This might be enough for a first down. Remember, they could have gotten a first down inside the 2-yard line, and I think that's exactly what the Lions did. MVCA in business now.
Yeah, the sticks are laying down on the sideline. Just a marker now.
First and goal from the 1.
It would have been nice to see that touchdown pass there, considering MVCA only has 2 touchdown passes the entire year. That would have been a nice sighting. But we're going to see 4 run plays, or maybe 1 or 2, depending on if
Look out for the quarterback sneak here.
Yep.
Walter's going to hand it to Snow instead. Going to try to bounce it outside. Tries to cut it up. Going north-south, and he's short.
Joel, I think your call of the quarterback sneak was the right call there. Boy, they were keying on Snow there, weren't they? There's 3 guys there waiting to tackle him.
Let's take a look at the defensive line for New Miami. They've got the 300-pounder Jared Caldwell in there, lining up directly over the center. That might discourage a little bit of that. Walters might thought,
Yeah, Snow is short. He's only 5'8", so
he could squeeze in there, can't he, Neal?
Look at the split between 55 and 64 on the offensive line. Look how big of a gap that is between those linemen, the guard and the tackle.
Boom.
This is a quarterback power out of the shotgun. Dan, you love that play, right? Quarterback sneak from 4 yards back.
Well, just put it this way. If he was behind the center, he would have scored there. But now he's back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's kind of cool when you see it fall short. The referees come to the line, and they just do not look very impressed.
Yeah.
The hands don't go up.
Impress
no touchdown yet. No, not very impressed with that. They're going to have to try it again.
We're down below 2 minutes now in the half, but MVCA obviously in no hurry, and nor should they be.
Come on, just
they're out of
sneak
timeouts.
the ball, guys. Just sneak it. It's right there for you.
Under center again for Walters with the 300-pound nose tackle.
This could be the sneak, Dan.
No, it's
Hand
not.
off again. Snow bottled up in the backfield again.
Wow, great job, New Miami.
When you're going to throw 150 pounds of might into that line, that's probably what you're going to get. It's not to impugn Snow's running ability. He's fantastic, but he's not on the heavy side.
No, that's why I've been calling for the sneak.
Yeah.
Well, and New Miami has been selling out against the pass, and the bigger thing there is, obviously it's big that they kept him out of the end zone, but equally big there is the fact that they backed him up about 3 yards. This 4th down and goal is not going to be on the goal line like the previous 3 plays were.
No, it's not. And
red formation now for a couple wide receivers out wide. One of them is off your screen at the bottom there. You can't see him. That's number 11, Ian Dooley. He's got man coverage.
I'd hope to go around. Oh,
this
quick,
is a
quick
throw.
pass. Did he catch it?
Looks like he got it.
And it is a catch. They were impressed. That is a touchdown pass to Noah Kroger there.
Well, the middle referee wasn't as impressed. He put his hands up for about a half second.
He doesn't shop at Kroger's.
He didn't keep his hands up. And I was like, well, it was kind of hard to tell by the middle referee if it was a touchdown. I could tell his hand went up, but they were only up for a moment.
Well,
they don't really hold him up for a while.
Look at this fake 2-point conversion play. Snow breaks 2 tackles, and he is stopped short.
Well,
they had 5 offensive linemen all the way flanked over to the left side, and they went ahead and snapped it with only a 1-man line.
Wow. That could be a leading indicator of their kicking game.
Yes, you're right, Neal.
I don't think whatever that was, I think they were trying to fool New Miami, and at least 3 Vikings were not fooled by that.
Well, it's time to knee the ball, I would think.
Yeah, we're down to, 38 seconds left to go. And the MVCA Lions have a 6-0 lead on New Miami.
And Noah Kroger with a touchdown reception there, Joel. He, by far, there's been 3 touchdown receptions on the season for the Lions, and all 3 have been by Noah Kroger. So that's a good stat to know. I mean,
on the goal line, that's what they're looking for.
That's what you might want to maybe double up that young man. I didn't see that happen there.
Doesn't sound very balanced, though, Dan.
No.
Noah Kroger. So yeah.
Watch out, Kroger's going to catch this one.
The Lions,
nothing for Thriftway, right?
The Lions love to go Krogering, that's for sure.
Fairfield just missed a field goal wide to the left, And they lead the Mason Comets 14-3 still in the second quarter there at Fairfield Alumni Stadium.
Wonder how far out that field goal was. It didn't look very close.
Did not, did it?
Pretty far infield.
Edgewood has scored twice more since we've seen them last. They're up 28-0 on Talawanda now at Coomler.
That's right. It's another track field I remember running around in my day.
Here's the kickoff. And it's going to be returned by Strong. He's got a couple of blocks.
He's running strong.
He fumbles the ball. It pops out. 3 different beanbags get thrown from 3 different angles by referees that all saw it. And the Lions come up with the ball.
This beanbag here needs more beans. It didn't get very far. It didn't get anywhere near. Now, Joel, they're supposed to throw the beanbag to a spot where they think the ball was down.
Happened.
Yeah,
that's where the fumble happened.
They were off only about 5-6 yards.
Well, to be fair, that play is the most out of position play for all officials in football. As a kickoff, they've got to cover the entire field.
Only 29 seconds to go for the offense here. Let's see what they do with this short amount of time. It looks like they only have, they have 2 timeouts left according to the scoreboard. I thought they used
MVCA is out of timeouts.
Okay, so the scoreboard didn't show that.
Correct.
And passing's a good idea.
He's got him wide open. Oh, he overthrew
his intended receiver, Nick Beckham. And it looks like that was Cirillo Lakes there in pass defense. They're the safety. We've not called his name yet tonight. He's the deep man for New Miami on defense.
That shows you how football has changed over the years. You would have seen Beckham get lit up there by the safety on that play in the past, but that would have been probably an unnecessary roughness call in today's game. But he was running free, and he had the gentleman right back of him. He didn't hit him. It was a wise move.
2nd down and 10 for Walters. Gets enough protection, airs it downfield for Kroger.
Oh!
Going to be pass interference. That was Luke McGraw on defense for the Vikings. That is not going to be a spot foul like it would be in the NFL.
15 yards.
15 like a college play. And MVCA, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they've got no kicking game. So field goal is probably not in Coach Russ Thiessen's arsenal right here.
Where the line was, I was thinking, that's only a 61-yarder, but
no Justin Tucker here, guys.
We're going to bring. Looks like this ball's going to go around to the 29.
Yep.
If my math is 28, 20, maybe 28.
About the 29 or so. Yeah.
So it's strikeable.
Once again, man coverage on the outside. This is a running play, and that's going to end the half.
I don't understand why they would do that.
I don't understand that either. Elijah
Throw and
Snow.
stop. Throw and stop.
They're out of timeouts.
Well, there it goes.
They're in a hurry.
Did they know they were out of timeouts?
That's going to be it. They did not get the playoff.
And that is the end of the first half. A very bizarre finish to what otherwise might have been a fairly decent drive for MVCA, although time challenged, no doubt, with no timeouts.
Even throwing the ball down the field, incomplete, you probably could get 2 plays or more. Dan, you know your time better than anybody.
Joel and I have always been the time management freaks. Yeah, you got to throw it there, or even if you run it, you want to run a toss sweep or something. Nothing like up the middle there they were doing.
And once again, even if you throw it, maybe good things will happen. You get a pass interference call and the
stops
time
the
runs
clock.
out, or it stops both things. But if you run out of time and you don't end the half on a penalty, you get an untimed down, and boom, you can get it in.
Yeah, and untimed downs. If anyone watched Stanford and Oregon last week,
that came into play very
that
much.
Was an untimed down.
And Oregon lost on the goal.
Yeah, Oregon. Yeah. Boy, Oregon. Sorry, Jimmy Vogt. Yeah, Jimmy Vogt, the Oregon man. I'll tell you, Oregon really botched that game. They had the ball with about 2:30 to go with a lead, and instead of running the ball 3 times, forcing Stanford to use their timeouts, Oregon got cute. They decided to throw the ball. It was incomplete. Then Stanford was able to save one of their timeouts, which was critical because they were able to march down the field and score a touchdown after a pass interference was called and there was no time on the clock.
All right, we're going to be right back here after this quick break. Extended halftime tonight for homecoming festivities here in the Village. The score, the Lions of Miami Valley Christian Academy, 6, and the New Miami Vikings, nothing. You are watching the Butler County High School Sports Report Television Network.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back here in the village of New Miami with the Miami Valley Christian Academy having a 6-0 lead over the New Miami Vikings here. And gentlemen, first half, what are your observations? Dad, we'll start with you.
Oh boy. Well, number one, they missed opportunity on a 2-point conversion, and the only thing I can say about that is they probably weren't very confident in their kicking game, or they would have put up point number 7. That may come back to bite them. And then I think the only other thing I can think of, other than a turnover, was a good thing for MVCA. But why did they run the ball with 15 seconds left in the half?
That was a bizarre play call.
They took away at least one play, probably, what they could have. So, again, and they were penetrating. They were down to about, the 28-yard line, and they didn't get a chance to score there.
Especially given that they got the ball back with like 45 seconds to a minute left and were throwing it on every play, correctly so, and got the 15-yard pass interference penalty to put them in position.
I am absolutely no head coach, and I don't want that job. But they did run out of their timeouts, too, which would have been helpful.
They did. Dan, New Miami, what do you think?
Love their defense. I mean, they were on that 4th down critical touchdown pass they gave up. I'm looking at the stats, and the gentleman that caught the pass, Kroger, he's got the only 2 touchdown receptions on the entire year for the Lions, and they let that guy get open. So that might have been one that the coach might have thought, guard Kroger here, let someone else beat you, and they didn't.
All right.
So
we'll
that's
talk a little playoffs. Where you want to go, Dan?
Yeah, let's go playoffs. First of all, how about an update on that Baden score? That's a big surprise to me.
Jack Walsh with a 55-yard touchdown run to pull Baden within 21-14.
Okay.
It's a good game now.
That is a good game.
Game is on. Baden's defense going to have to stop the pass.
Yes.
And that is something Baden is, you look at the teams that have gone in there to Kumler, and we've seen them play Roger Bacon this year. We've seen them play Ross this year. We've seen them play Alter this year. You don't have a passing game coming in there and playing Baden. Baden's defense is very, very good, but this is something they've not had to defend against stylistically to this point. And we'll see if CJ is able to keep that up in the second half of that game.
I'll tell you, CJ is putting tape on the Rams and their vulnerabilities with other teams, so Baden better pay attention to that pass defense.
We'll start, I guess, there with Division 3.
Sure.
With the eye chart.
Region
there we
12.
go.
We'll look at the eye chart. We'll see if you can see it, Dad. I know it's kind of...
I've seen this chart, folks, at home a lot, and Joel explains this stuff to me. So my eyes typically get crossed when I look at this, but the one thing I think I can say that I learned from Joel is second-level points.
Second-level points are everything. Because you get second-level points every time a team that you beat wins another game.
So it's basically a measure of the quality of your opponents. If your opponent wins that you beat.
That you beat. You don't get any credit for losing to somebody. It's a dead end.
So therefore, Baden being undefeated 7-0 and looking at their second-level points there of 130.5 indicates that they're beating teams that are very good.
They're winning games.
They're winning games. Yeah, the teams that they beat
are winning games.
Right.
So if you look at this, there are 7 opponents that Baden has already beaten that are in white there that can give them extra points tonight. The one that has been blued out is Carroll. Their game against McNicholas got COVID canceled earlier today.
Okay.
So
second-level
Baden
points.
cannot get any points from Carroll tonight if they would have pulled off an upset over McNicholas. So now Baden will play McNick later on this year, so if McNick would have won that game, Baden could get those points later instead of now.
And following
McNick was
conversely.
supposed to play Carroll tonight.
I thought Baden is, aren't
CJ.
CJ.
Baden
Now look at Shamnot here.
Chaminade is 11th.
So they're playing Baden. Look how many second-level points they could get.
Chaminade could get 37.5 second-level points.
Just by beating Baden.
Beating alone.
Beating Baden alone. Chaminade Julienne is 3 wins on the season. They beat Troy, they beat Fenwick, and then they beat Carroll last week. And Chaminade Julienne, with those 3 opponents, Troy, Fenwick, and Carroll, only has 33.5 second-level points. They would get 37.5 just tonight, just by beating Baden, plus whatever Fenwick or Troy could give them. Fenwick is losing 17-0 to Alter right now.
Now, you had discussed a team that could potentially shoot right up there, Joel. I think was it St. Mary's Memorial or
Tippecanoe is the one to keep an eye on tonight.
And Tyler too.
Yes, Tippecanoe and Tyler too. The Red Devils are at 3rd right now. They are right dab smack in between Monroe and Ross, and if you look at their total score in the left-hand column there, you will see is a razor-thin margin between all 3 of those schools for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The top 4 end up getting double home game for the playoffs, so it's very nice to end up in the top 8. You get a home game, top 4 you get 2 home games. Tippecanoe's opponent tonight is the Piqua Indians, who are undefeated, Division II.
And they are still the Indians.
They are still the Indians.
That's refreshing.
And so Tippecanoe can get twice as many points as Monroe could get from beating Waynesville, Baden could get from beating CJ.
Wait, they're the Piqua Guardians, aren't they?
The Piqua Guardians, yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
My bad.
Dan had to be politically correct.
That's right. That's right.
you.
Always. Ross is playing Harrison tonight, so Piqua's worth twice as many points as either one of those. If Tippecanoe can win that game, they would be expected to leapfrog Monroe. Of course, obviously, all these games in white off to the left could still have a factor there. Monroe could try to accumulate more and more points. Western Brown, I saw, was leading Goshen. Goshen's not.
What is
the?
Do you have it score on the Tippecanoe game?
I have not seen a score yet. For
Okay,
Tippecanoe and Piqua.
Boy, Monroe is very interested in that score.
Monroe
We're
would be
providing a service for the Monroe Hornets here tonight.
We got a couple people that are there at the game. Looks like with 8:24 left in the second quarter, Piqua is leading 21-9 over the Red Devils of Tippecanoe.
All right, so that's a great score for Monroe. The Hornets are cheering. And they're also cheering here as they're announcing the homecoming queen and king.
I can't believe it, but the guy who brought out the American flag, Jarek Holland, has been crowned the king. He's on the field with his beautiful-looking sash above his pads and uniform and that funky-looking crown.
We'll see if you can see it here.
Yeah,
I would like it if
the camera's off screen. We can't see it.
They decided to take a little break.
I'll tell you, wouldn't it be great if the king could just wear that crown on one play on the field? Run off tackle with the crown on it would look like a Burger King commercial.
And then when he gets done, the crown will be smashed.
I like it. Monroe, here's a score. Western Brown leads Goshen 30-0. Western Brown is the team that Monroe beat earlier this year. They continue to win games over and over and over again. I don't think the people at YouTube can see the mouse anyway.
Oh.
That's only we seeing the mouse.
Oh, I've been using that mouse to point out things.
Well, once again, it's an eye chart, folks.
It is an eye chart.
Feast your eyes.
That's exactly right. So, St. Mary's Memorial, they are at 6th right now behind Bellbrook. They are leading Elida at halftime 21-7. So they can get another 19.5 second level points there. A lot of games are very similar value other than that Piqua game tonight.
Regarding the two clubs tonight, can we bring up their...
We can bring up Division 7, Region 28. Yes,
there you go.
Absolutely.
Because everyone wants to know... for instance, let's go to, well, I'm using the mouse and no one's seeing what I'm doing.
Describe what you're doing.
Well,
with the
okay,
mouse.
so
Call the line number.
Call the line number,
yeah. Yeah, line 15, Miami Valley Christian Academy. Here we go.
You're on with Don Lemon. Caller, line 15.
They only get 3.5 points by beating New Miami.
Now, they get wins from Millersport. That was the Saturday game we talked about.
Right.
They're playing Steubenville Catholic Central tomorrow.
It was under week 1, folks.
Yep, and then Gallatin County, Kentucky, they beat in week 4. I don't know who Gallatin County has tonight.
I'm beginning to understand some of your code there, Joel. That was week 4.
Yes.
Your white boxes are wins?
Wins.
On the road. On the row. Not road,
that's
but
right.
on row 15.
Everybody in white there is a team that you beat.
Okay.
I will color them in yellow when they give you points. I color them in blue if they already lost yesterday and cannot give you points.
And you can't even read the blue ones. So
I know.
There you go.
I can read them if you on my screen.
The black, I would assume, are losses.
The black are losses, and those are dead ends. They will stay dead ends all year long. They have no relevance confidence whatsoever. Does not matter if you lose to Sidney Laban Catholic down there or if you lose to St. Xavier. It's a loss, it's a loss, it's a loss.
So this if Miami Valley Christian Academy, if they end up winning this game tonight, they're gonna they're gonna gain 3.5 points, and they're gonna maybe move up just a little bit, assuming Tri-County North and Lockland above them may lose.
Right. Lockland is playing tomorrow against St. Bernard Elmwood Place. Also 3.5 points there for Lockland.
That's line 14.
That's not a whole lot of separation really there with either one of those. Tri-County North is playing Ansonia. 15 points there. That's a little better opponent.
That's line 13.
Right. Ansonia, Tri-County North. One of the two is going to win that game, but one is going to lose. That might be a team. The loser of that game might be a team that MVCA could jump at the end of this week.
And down here at line 22 is the new Miami Vikings, who were number 1 last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Last year they did not have the Harbin ratings because of COVID.
Right.
They only had the 6-game schedule.
But everybody was in the playoffs.
Everybody was in the
remember
playoffs,
you
and they were seeded by coaches Vogt.
Playoffs?
Playoffs, yeah.
I just want to win a game.
So New Miami, they got 7.5 tonight if they can beat MVCA. Hilltop has already canceled their game due to COVID, so they can't give New Miami anything tonight. So New Miami actually does not have any second-level points all year because the team they beat has not won a game yet. That's not helpful.
Wow.
Clark Montessori was a game they lost in Week 5 2 weeks ago. That was a game that was overtime, and New Miami lost that game in OT. Would have been nice to have a second win under their belt. Would have helped move them up a little bit. They'd probably be around the 18 or 19 line there.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm gonna say New Miami has to win out because look at the second level points. You got in Week 10, you have Lockland there.
They're at 7.
Okay.
Lockland's a 2-win team, and they're ahead of New Miami. They're on the 14 line. So if you beat Lockland, you're going to get 7 points for them.
Right.
If you beat St. Bernard Elmwood Place next week, that's 3.5. Tonight would be huge if they could pull it off.
Yeah.
But here's the other interesting thing. Lockland and St. Bernard Elmwood Place are playing each other tomorrow. So one of those two is going to get another shot of either 3.5 or 4 points into that column when we look at this chart next week, depending on who wins that game.
Okay.
So if St. Bernard Elmwood Place wins tomorrow, then that game next week wouldn't be worth 3.5, it'd be worth 7.
Okay. Yeah, but they might earn the right to play Marion Local, the Duke University of high school football.
Marion Local sitting there at 7-0 again.
I mean, Marion Local, they are
perennial.
Oh.
They knocked New Miami out of the playoffs last year.
Yes.
42-0, I believe, was the score. Marion Local lost to New Bremen last year in the regional final, and it was the first time they had not made it to a state championship game since 2010.
Long stretch.
Marion Local, I believe, was like 133-12 in that stretch, and they've now added 7 more wins to that so far this year.
You older broadcasters think Moeller, Princeton, think that era, back when Moeller and Princeton and they were just perennial powers every year. That's what Marion Local is in Division 7. They're unbelievable.
Marion Local is going to be really, really tested tonight as well as next week. If you look at these two games that they're in the middle of, they are playing New Bremen tonight, which is the team that knocked them out last year in the regional finals.
We need a score on that.
We do have a score on that. 7.5 left to go in the second quarter. Marion Local Flyers lead the New Bremen Cardinals 14-7.
That's a good one.
Actually, it looks like a even more recent update. 2 more recent updates. Marion Local scored 1 more touchdown at the 5-minute mark there, and New Bremen scored a 1-yard touchdown right before halftime with the extra point blocked. So at halftime, the score, Marion Local Flyers 21, New Bremen 13. Battle Royale there in the Midwest Athletic Conference. And then next week, Marion Local will play Coldwater, the defending Division 6 state champions.
Talk about second-level points for Marion Local. My goodness.
Coldwater suffered their first defeat last week.
To the Bengals, right?
They played to the Redskins.
No, the football team.
The St. Henry Redskins, who St. Henry was a lot farther down the chart. They have creeped up to the 6th line because they beat Coldwater last week, and that dumped a slew 26.5 second level points. They've got 44 now total on the year. That win over Coldwater jumped them way up into home game territory.
What does St. Henry's uniforms look like? Do you have any idea?
I do not. I've not seen the
I would love to
jerseys.
see if it looked like the Washington Redskins. That would be fantastic. Maybe a spear on there.
I'm sorry, folks. I got to sit back here between these two guys, and they announce all this stuff about uniforms and colors and fashion. There is a feminine side to these guys.
I am the uniform police, Neal. Okay,
The uniforms matter. Walking into silver and black in Las Vegas gives you a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, probably. It matters.
My uniform game of the week last week was by far the Chargers and the Raiders. I mean,
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. The Chargers had their powder blue with the yellow pants. The Raiders had their throwback white road with silver letters. I mean, they looked awesome.
I believe I made the comment to you, Dad, turning that game on.
Yeah.
Danny probably is going to be loving uniforms in this game.
Anyone who
confirmed.
Oh yes, of course I loved it. Anyone who is a uniform fan, there's a website called uni-watch.com. uni-watch.com. And I'm telling you, you want to know about uniforms, not just football, baseball, basketball, hockey. This guy, he's kind of a fanatic about it, but I think he does a good job.
I'll tell you what, Danny, I particularly enjoyed seeing Seattle's uniforms last night.
The lime green.
The highlighter green. It was
those
top
brutal.
to bottom. I mean,
Jumps off your screen.
It does. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of the Boise State football field.
Well,
all blue.
The only thing Seattle should have done is instead of having lights like now, they should have had black lights. Then those uniforms would have really popped.
That was what they should do. They should turn on the black lights when they announce the team coming on.
Oh, there you go. They would be glowing.
Yes.
They would glow. I'm anxious next year. Speaking uniforms, the NFL is waiving their one
helmet rule.
Yes, you will be able to have the old helmets like the Bengals. Colors. And Bengals used to just say Bengals
on it.
You could still have that.
Because you can have that. You'd have to strip off all the stripes and put Bengals on.
But the differences will be teams like the Denver Broncos, who now can put the side D on, but it's got to be on the Navy helmet instead of the royal blue helmet.
Or my favorite, the Pat the Patriots on the Chargers.
Pat the Patriot
with the
white helmet.
Snap
Patriots,
the ball, right?
That's right.
Right.
Got Bucko Bruce and the
Tampa Bay
Orange Creamsicles.
You could bring those back.
And Miami with the Dolphin going through the hoop.
You had that actually last weekend because the background background color of the helmet is the same.
Right.
The one shell rule means they have to have the same identical helmet all season long. So anything that changes the color, they can't do. But
for some reason, that was for safety. But when you watch Oregon every week, they have a different helmet every week, and they're just reckless in Oregon. They have no safety in Oregon. Sorry, Jimmy. That's just a joke.
Other scores: St. Henry Redskins lead the Anna Rockets at halftime, 20-0. Anna.
Remember it.
That's right.
Anna Rockets.
Looking at Division 1. We'll take a little peek over there, shall we? It's a little bigger print for everybody.
There you go.
St. X and Moeller both lost last week.
Yeah, but Moeller lost to Elder in the pit.
In the pit.
That's easy to do.
Elder only is 2-4 now on the season.
But it's still Elder in the pit.
Yeah, St. X lost to a winless Trinity Kentucky Shamrock team that's scheduled up but hadn't won a game yet, and they won their first game at Balaban Field.
Bad loss.
Moeller's game against Elder was a 59-58 overtime loss, where Elder went for, I guess, blocked the extra point for Moeller and then kicked the extra point and won in the pit on a Saturday afternoon, 59-58. That is one of the great venues in Ohio high school football. I have not been to it yet. I need to see a game sometime in the pit.
Yeah. Playoffs, maybe, Joel.
Maybe a playoff game. Maybe one of our GMC schools will end up playing a road game at Elder. Elder's win over Moeller leapfrogs them out of that pack and up to the number 7 line.
And as Coach Tim said, who is my patient from Moeller, Coach Tim said, if we can't get in the playoffs, we should be fired. Because, look, there's one team down there that won't make the playoffs.
Both Lebanon and Oak Hills are both sitting there winless, tied for 16th place.
And one of those teams will get in the playoffs and get carnaged by Xavier in the first round.
Oak Hills plays winless Middletown next week. That might be a game for a potential playoff spot if Middletown can play the game, because Middletown canceled their game against Lakota West tonight with COVID. So
COVID.
West lost the chance to get 0 second level points and instead has to have a bye, as East plays Oak Hills for 0 second level points tonight.
And pay attention, you'll be tested on this later.
That's right. East and West, 3rd and 4th right now, snugly behind St. X and Moeller. Milford.
How about a combined Lakota team? Would they be a terror?
They would beat hard.
East and West together? My goodness.
East and West, neither one of them is going to get any second level points this weekend from the game they're playing, although they can get some from the white areas there to the left. Milford is sitting there on the 5 line, not all that far behind the two Lakotas. They are playing Anderson tonight. 30 second level points there from Milford. They might be able to climb up as high as 3rd, depending upon how they do in their game against the former Redskins, now known as the Raptors, tonight.
Who are the Raptors?
Anderson.
I love you guys, but that was a weak choice. That was a weak choice.
Well, it looks like Anderson is dinosauring their way into the end zone. They have a 21-0 lead over the Milford Eagles right before halftime.
Well, when Anderson plays, they're flying around the ball, let me tell you that.
The Velociraptors.
It's because the Raptors.
Gotta love them. Lakota East and Lakota West in Week 10 play each other.
That'll
be a game for not just the Battle of Lakota, and not maybe just for the GMC Championship, but also for the 3 seed, or maybe if Moeller loses another one in there somewhere, possibly the 2 seed. Moeller has St. Ignatius and then Lakewood St. Edwards the next 2 weeks, 2 Cleveland area Catholic schools, both of which have pretty strong records. It will not be easy for Moeller. St. X also, LaSalle and St. Ignatius the next 2 weeks.
Let me ask you a real quick question at the top there of that board, okay?
Yes.
You're the man. Xavier beat Moeller. However, looking at the next 3 weeks, let's say both teams win out.
Okay.
Looking at second level points.
Yes.
See how in week 9, Cleveland St. Edwards, you get 35 second level
Yes.
points. St. Ignatius, you
only
only get 25.
Yep.
If they both win out, does Moeller leapfrog over Xavier?
I doubt Moeller will have quite the ammunition there.
Okay.
Just with those 10 points. And also their Week 10 matchup, Moeller's is worth a little bit more. Moeller's playing Martin Luther King of Detroit, Michigan, while St. X is playing the Eagles Landing Christian Academy of Georgia. Wow. Week 10. GCL South schools have to go out of state to find opponents because nobody will play them.
Hey, just like the ZZ Top bands.
That might.
We're going nationwide.
It might be enough, but really what also is going to help them is if Moeller can get more wins from the teams they've already beaten as well.
That's right.
Moeller beat Lakota East, St. X beat Lakota West. When those two play each other in Week 10, it will help Moeller out. If East wins that game, it would help St. X out. If West wins that game.
I gotcha.
CJ, who is leading Baden right now, that's 5.5 more points for Moeller if CJ can pull off that upset. You got to go to East Central Indiana and to Ironton, Ohio, and find some of these scores coming in.
So I see how it works. So you have to also add in your opponent's wins, of course.
That's
you
right.
just can't look at that chart and add 25, 35. You got to look at all the other previous.
Other ones as well.
That's why it's complicated.
On a week in and week out. So I can't give you
Finally
an
figured
exact
it out.
answer there. Jack Walsh, 10-yard touchdown run and extra point good. Chaminade, Julian, and Baden now tied at 21.
There we go.
Still before halftime.
Good.
Wow.
In that game.
That
Lots
is a
of
great
time
game.
left.
That is a
Of course,
great
folks,
game.
you're listening to 3 Baden alumnists.
Yes.
That's right. Who are very proud of Nick Yorty and the job he has done over there.
Tremendous.
For Baden High School. Mason has scored a touchdown, but they are still down 21-10 against Fairfield.
It looks like the halftime is over.
They got to put 3 more on the clock to get them to stretch.
Oh, is that the way it works?
So we're going to be all right there.
Good.
Look at Division 2 real quickly here while we have a chance. This is Edgewood's division.
Okay.
So Edgewood is at 7th right now. They are playing Talawanda tonight. Only 5.5 second level points because Talawanda has only won 1 game so far this year.
We're talking week 8 here,
that
folks.
was Carroll that Talawanda beat. If that says anything about what Carroll is looking like this year as well. So Edgewood is kind of stuck there, and they're going to be stuck in neutral.
Until they get to play Ross.
They play Ross next week.
Big points.
That game would be worth a lot more points for the Cougars. Edgewood started with a loss to Milford, had a bye when Hamilton High School ended up having to cancel due to COVID with them, and then had Franklin That was the game that you and I were laughing about where Franklin had negative 32 yards in the first half and still ended up winning that game over Edgewood on like a 40-something yard field goal at the end of the game. It was crazy. If Edgewood would have won that game over Franklin, they'd probably be in the top 4 right now. Taze Valley was tied with Amanda Clear Creek. They are an outside of the area team that is undefeated and on the number 4 line. Their schedule is not nearly as strong as Kings, Piqua, and LaSalle. That's why they're hanging around 4th. But those eastern central Ohio teams that Taze Valley plays, we're going to have to keep an eye on a lot of those guys. Chillicothe, Logan. Oh, wow. We got a Pat Lenahan texted us in. Says
Thanks,
CJ
Pat.
just scored. And so it is now 28-21 Chaminade Julienne at the half.
Pat's a devoted follower of the Butler County High School Sports Report. Shout out to Pat. Shout out to my friend Bob, the mayor of Valley Thrift.
Looking at games around Edgewood, you see that Anderson, of course, has Milford. Turpin is playing Winton Woods. Turpin is on the 6 line, Winton Woods on the 9 line. Somebody, again, will be over Edgewood at the end of that thing, but Turpin may fall behind them if they lose that game. Harrison's got Ross. Lima Senior has a chance with Fremont Ross. That's where Charles Woodson went. All the way up in Northern Ohio. 35.5 points for Lima Senior if they find a way to pull off that upset.
It's going to be interesting with 16 teams in the playoffs. If we're going to see any of these double-digit seeds advance, that's going to be interesting. I know the extra teams give more teams a shot. I don't know if it cheapens the playoffs or it makes them more exciting for teams that normally don't get in
and
there.
It might be both.
Yeah,
Two things can be true at once. Amanda Clear Creek has just scored, and so the Aces have a 14-7 lead now over Taze Valley. As we were just talking about Taze Valley there, who is undefeated, but they are losing at the half now.
Here we go.
Here's the kickoff, and we're back underway here at the Village.
I think that's the first time that MVCA kicks the ball tonight.
I agree. Yeah, it is. Jaden Strong returns it. They had the one kick after their touchdown that they stripped and got the fumble. So second kick of the night.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But that was by far the longest kick.
Oh, yeah.
And based on the height and the distance of that kick, I think they could kick field goals if they wanted to. And extra points.
Have to see if the snapping and
we're doing our own
good
kicker scouting here, helping out.
We want to give this game a little kick, folks.
That's right. That's right. Princeton leads Sycamore 21-13 in the GMC contest. 1st and 10 now for the Vikings at New Miami. See, we don't have a 10-minute ticker across the bottom. We're just giving it to you audibly as we call the game. It's up the middle, and it's only going to get a couple of yards there. A lot of misdirection involved in that play, but nothing of too much significance.
I always like those classic halftime adjustments, guys. We'll see if, there's a little wrinkle, maybe a little trick play. I think a trick play would work here. Maybe, give it to the halfback, lateral back to the quarterback. You could hit a guy running free,
Civarella was the ball carrier on the last play, the fullback, and notice formationally they got 4 wide receivers now, and they're out of the wishbone.
Farmer on the tackle.
Civarella, fullback dive. This is basically trying to hit him with a blunt object through the 2 plays right here. Up the middle.
Hundle on the tackle, but he kind of got ran over.
Truck
stopped him. 3rd and doable.
I love Mike Dyer talking about Wyoming's clock management on Twitter at the end of the first half. Wyoming leads Marymount 20-3. 2 very highly ranked teams there, one from Division 4, one from Division 5.
3rd down. That's a big play here for New Miami.
See if they give it again to Civarella up the middle. And they do.
Boom. Nice.
This is your halftime adjustment.
Yes.
Andy Stuckert has decided. Clearly, we can see that through 3 plays. Andy Stuckert has decided if we can pull 4 defenders outside the box with 4 wide receivers, we can just hand it straight up the middle to Civarella and try to bulldoze them.
My favorite play out of 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 is to spread them wide and to run the ball up the middle. Because instead of crowding everyone together, everyone knows you're going to run the ball.
Yeah, you thin out the defensive.
Yes.
Strong in motion again. This is a triple option now. Kept by Moffitt, and Emmerich Moffitt is tackled for a gain of 6 yards. That is your classic triple option. It's not in the wishbone formation, though. It's coming out of the spread formation.
Yeah. Army runs that, I think?
Army does a lot of flex bone.
flex
and
mode.
a lot of wishbone.
Okay.
But you don't see as much spread out of these service academies where they got 4 people lined up as receivers.
Okay.
Typically no more than 2.
I think Ethan Geiger got that tackle. Was a little slow getting up, but he's up.
2nd down and 5 now for the Vikings. And this is against Civarella. Up
He's
the middle.
running hard.
You can see that Stuckert saw that and decided this was the halftime adjustment. It's a 1st down for the Vikings, who are on the move across the 40-yard line.
Most impressive. Didn't mean to talk over you there,
Go ahead.
Joel.
Yeah,
most
go ahead.
impressive drive of the game, I would say, for New Miami right now.
Go ahead.
More sustained, too, Dan.
Sure.
I think I saw a couple good spurts in the 2nd quarter, but then it came to an abrupt halt.
Yep.
This is a drive of identity. They look like they know who they want to be on this drive. And who they want to be is Nathan Civarella plowing over the middle. Civarella, again, fullback dive.
Still getting 5 yards.
He got 8 there.
Got 8, yeah, at least 5. He has to fall forward for the extra 3 yards.
That's just hard-nosed football there.
This is tough running, and this is, if you look, Dan, you mentioned earlier the size of the New Miami line compared to the size of the MVCA line. I don't know if that showed up.
It shows on the
film,
screen.
but you can
It
see
shows
it now.
on TV big time. Look at the left defensive end for MV. He's
Stunt
outweighed.
coming in. Civarella's got the ball. Runs past the stunt
He's
rush.
a steam truck.
And he's got about 20 yards there on that carry. Bam.
Took 2 to bring him down, Ethan Hudnall, and in the last few plays, Adrian Hart, number 54, for the Lions, in on a number of tackles.
New Miami tried an adjustment on that, or not New Miami, MVCA tried an adjustment on that. You could see that they sent a stunt blitzer through the B gap up the middle, and Civarella was already by him by the time he realized.
Looked to be about what, Joe? The 14-yard
Yeah,
line?
Yes.
14. 1st and 10.
Civarella's going to take it again.
You know what? It's
Why not?
Let's stop us, guys. That's what they're saying. New Miami is just saying stop
Ethan
us.
Hudnall on the tackle there. It's what Jim Carrey would say in The Mask. Somebody stop me!
See, there's dad and son doing a reference. I never saw the movie.
You've never seen The Mask?
I've never seen it.
Oh, we got to educate you, Dan. Outside of football season. We
Oh,
gotta
of
educate
course.
you on The
Oh,
Mask.
thank you, sir.
Summertime is the time to watch movies when there's nothing but baseball going on.
And the Reds not in
And
the
the Reds not in the
playoffs.
playoffs. 2nd and 6, Civarella stumbles into Moffitt. Moffitt's going to
doesn't
keep
matter.
it. Runs up the middle on a broken play. And a touchdown, New Miami Vikings.
I am going to say that is an impressive drive, and I'm going to say their coach chewed them out royally at halftime because that was an inspired, awesome offensive display.
Yeah, the train horn rings right at the right time.
They did that drive in 4 minutes
Yes.
and 9 seconds.
How long was that touchdown, Dan?
14 yards.
That's right, from the 14.
14-yard touchdown run for Emmerich Moffitt on a
They're not
Run for 2.
kicking. Oh, I don't know about this.
I know. Well,
Civarella right up the
Of
gut.
course, Civarella.
He's in.
He got it.
He's in.
Civarella, Nightingale, Civarella. He can run all day and all night. I think that's their
Where was that in
solution.
the first half, guys?
Yeah.
Where was that in the first half?
Well, we got it in the second half, and we're going to
That's
see a
all
lot
that
more.
matters. That's all.
7:51 left to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and
Sure.
come back. New Miami with an 8-6 lead over the MVCA Lions.
Looking for
I never
future
thought I
leaders
would
you
sing.
can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back here at the Village as Andy Stuckert, the New Miami Vikings, have figured something out here in this chess match back and forth between them and the Lions. Nathan Civarella is what they figured out, although what's interesting, Emmerich Moffitt had the touchdown run there. That was a busted play. That was supposed to go to Civarella. Moffitt turned one way. Civarella went the other way. The ball carrier was not where the ball was, and Moffitt took it and basically used him as a lead blocker.
Yeah, that was
Quarterback dive, right?
very
ugly kick.
short,
penalty
ugly,
flag.
out of bounds kick.
There it is.
And so MVCA will begin this drive at their own 35-yard line with some field position. Actually, it may be ahead of the 35 if the ball went out of bounds before the 35-yard line. It was a short kick.
They mark it where it goes out of bounds.
They would mark it where it went out of bounds if it's outside the 35. I don't know
It looks
how far
like it got out. It looks like it went out about the 36.
Looks like they are going to mark him at the
36.
36-yard line. Very good. And the official on the sideline is actually a little confused because the down marker is 1 yard up from where the sticks are.
I was going to say the yard to gain is on the 45. So they're backing up the stick now. So it is the 35.
So they are spotting at the 35-yard line. But it was the 35-yard line.
Oh, it's referencing Neal Sr., my dad. God bless his soul, 6 years ago, he went up to the sky.
That's right.
Uncle Neal, he was awesome. He was an old coach, old football coach, and we could tell you some Uncle Neal stories.
Well, not only that we're all Baden alumnists or alumni, we're all related.
Yeah, that's true.
Handoff goes to Elijah Snow. Snow's going to
flutter to the
shuttle
ground.
his way in for about a yard.
Ooh, I wonder if Carlos Snow, back when he played, had a lot of snowy references. You remember old Carlos Snow?
I don't remember.
Joel don't remember. He's a young guy.
I am a young guy.
Yeah, it's okay. He played for Ohio State, and he was quite a force.
Now here I'm looking for some kind of adjustment by the Lions. And
yes,
they're going back to Snow. So,
Well, MVCA had the better of the field position and the better of the offense in the first half.
Look at New Miami crown the line.
They're just
right after him.
Boom. Shot the gap.
My goodness.
I was thinking blitz.
A-gap blitz for Tug Jones, who burst right through the middle, and then Jarek Holland follows him in.
Tug,
that was well timed.
Yeah, Tug was Johnny on the spot. I love that old reference, Johnny on the spot.
What spot was Johnny on, Dan?
In the backfield.
Johnny's back on the 35-yard line right now.
So the gain of the snow, or the trucks of the snow tracks, have been erased.
That's right.
Right back to 3rd
right.
and 10.
We call that blitz snow removal.
Oh, my.
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
For the Lions.
I'll tell you, the Lions have had a penchant to be able to throw the ball, so let's see what they do.
That's been their better offense, honestly.
This is
going to be offsides.
Yep.
Yeah.
This time they tried to time it again, and this time the snap count was altered by about a quarter of a second, and that was just enough. Sly move there by Elijah Walters to change up the snap count and get Tug Jones to flinch off sides.
That was a good move by the quarterback.
Veteran move by the junior quarterback / linebacker. 3rd and 5.
Don't you love a quarterback / linebacker? You don't see those often.
I would love to see Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback / linebacker.
He's too sensitive. There's no way. I'm not an Aaron fan.
I'd like to see one quarterback playing defense against the other team.
Yeah, he looks like a homeless guy.
It'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
You imagine Aaron
3rd and
Rodgers.
5. Toss sweep. This is going to Hudson.
Boom!
Oh, man.
He dropped him like a sack of concrete, didn't he?
Hudson got taken down by Jaden Strong.
There's your dish rag, folks. That's what I'm talking about.
He waved that dish rag and ran him off.
And look, we're going to see a punt, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
Momentum
awesome.
has swung at Merrifield.
And that was a punch.
And now MVCA has to know what has to be coming.
We're going to find
Nathan
out.
Civarella's coming.
Is that Snow punting, or is that no? That's
Nate Cox.
So he's going to punt.
High, long snap.
Not
Good
bad.
kick. Jaden Strong fields it on the fly. He's got a block.
Nice.
Down he goes.
Kind of ran it to the outside. He might have had more room up the middle on that.
Yep.
Looks like the new Miami Vikings are going to start in their own territory after the punt.
About the 40. Yeah, looks like. Always start on a nice, even yard.
The ball will be placed at the 40-yard
line.
Thanks, Dirk.
I think Ethan Hudnall was probably the one who tackled him, but I also saw Jaden Thomas in there for the stop on the near sideline.
Speaking of Dirk Allen, any update on the Baden score?
They're at halftime.
28-21.
28-21 CJ, and Baden gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter in that game.
That's a shootout.
CJ playing tough. Handoff up the middle. This is Hayes. Dawson Hayes for 5 yards.
So right now we're looking at the new Miami offensive line flexing its muscles. and using their obvious size advantage. So it's not just Silverella running. When you see other players getting 5-yard runs, you got to give the offensive line some credit here.
You know, it's interesting, and I mean this as a compliment and not an insult to Coach Stucker. This is not playing chess while others are playing checkers or vice versa. This is basically playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
This is kind of looking at the size of my line, the size of your line, and saying, I'm giving it to my fullback and just going to trust that that's going to work out. And so far, so good.
Now, MVCA, they held them there, so this is going to be interesting. We're going to be a 3rd down and about a 4. Still 2 running plays, I'm predicting.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And one of them may be a triple option where Moffitt takes it to the outside and has a pitch man. One of them will be up the middle. I don't see Civarella's on the sideline right now. He was the bell cow of that entire last drive, and he has not seen the field yet in this drive.
I'm looking for the spread to spread out the middle.
There you go. Maybe a straight fullback dive. Oh,
and in motion, they got to get him to flinch.
Oh my goodness!
Offsides, a first down for the Vikings.
Oh,
that is huge.
Yeah, they got Caleb Thiesens, the running back who plays defense both ways. Caleb wasn't too happy with himself there, jumping off sides like that. Number 3.
Mentioned Coldwater losing their first game, the defending state champions of Division 6, losing their first game last week to the St. Henry Redskins. They've come back this week. They are leading Minster 35-0. Not even at halftime yet.
That might even be Joe Minster they're playing with that score.
Another flinch.
Wow.
Emmerich Moffitt working the snap count
right back at MVCA, you got to have some discipline here, boys. Just look at the football. Don't look at the voice.
Don't move first, move second.
Halftime score in Columbus, just because I love their name, Afrocentric Early College.
Say that again.
Afrocentric Early College, the Nubians lead Marion Franklin 6-0 at halftime.
Afro, A-F-R-O?
F-R-I, like Africa. Afrocentric.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
On a play action, spin move. Luke McGraw.
Wow.
A first down in the red zone for the Vikings, who are in business.
Adrian Hart with a potential touchdown saving tackle.
Oh, my goodness. That
for the Lions.
That crossed everybody up there. I don't think MVCA was prepared for a pass play.
I don't think any of us were
I was not prepared for a
that.
pass play.
Wow.
I think they lull you to sleep with the running plays.
Oh.
Bam.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
They definitely had me in a funk there.
Well, my dad said they'd got me up out of there.
Papa Neal.
Yeah.
All right.
Hayes is still the fullback.
Oh,
another busted play. Again, Moffitt looked left. Hayes broke right. You're going to have a flag thrown in late.
And adding insult to injury, we got. Wait a minute, they're pointing at. It might be offsides again here. Interesting.
It's a
face mask.
Offsides typically is blown dead in the high school game. There's no such thing as a free play at this level.
Okay.
So a face mask there.
Is it a 5 or a 15?
Joel, I'm seeing the presence of a number 18, Mason Stevens, and it looked like he was like a lead blocker on that play. And it was effective.
I think you were seeing Dawson Hayes, number 8.
Oh, okay.
I thought I saw
he was lined up at fullback.
Okay.
Well, their numbers are hard to read.
Okay,
Neal.
I'm seeing way out there. Yeah, the green
18
number.
outside.
18's outside. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's outside now, but I think
He's 6'2".
It caught my
tall
eye.
Kid, man. He probably was in there mashing.
He was in the backfield.
Wow.
So they're bringing one man in motion before the ball is snapped typically.
1st and 10 at the 10.
Ooh.
This is Civarella back in the game now.
And they said no more of that stuff.
Nate Cox got him. Nate was right on cue.
This is 1st and goal. New Miami cannot get a first down on this drive. 2nd down and goal now, just inside the 10-yard line for the Village.
We're down to 2:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Another fast-moving quarter. When you have run with an occasional pass, you're going to see a fast quarter.
New Miami is perfectly fine with that, with the ball and all of the momentum.
Yeah, this is Miami Valley Christian. This is a huge drive. You want to stop them here. Hey, jump
and
again.
another possible offsides. They got the snap off.
Free
he must
play.
not have jumped off.
He must have got back somehow, or they missed
He must have not jumped into the neutral zone, or they missed him. Moffitt kept it and ran it behind your number 18 that you saw there. Mason Stevens, they're using him kind of as a tight end in the backfield, a little H-back type of thing.
Bring him in for some earth.
The way the
movement.
old Washington Redskins used to use Chris Cooley. If you remember.
Number 46.
An H-back, tight end / fullback.
Chris Cooley. There you go.
Is a name.
3rd and 5. Boy, they could. I run it 2 times, and we'll see if they throw it. Boy, they're in a passing formation.
Shotgun.
Oh,
There's so
And a
much
flag.
So much movement on the line.
And that is going to be a false start on New Miami. That's
Yeah.
going to thicken the plot a little bit.
They drew the defense a little bit too.
well, it's going to be 3rd and 10, guys. I'm going to say they're throwing here. Clock is running. We're going to be under a minute by the time the snap is going on. Let's see what they're calling in. I like the call. He put both hands up like touchdown. So he must think he's going to score here. the coach is doing.
It's a
You can see it on.
right?
You can see it on the TV screen. Yeah,
The play I'm sending it to you is touchdown. That's the
yeah, well, you can see it on the screen there.
I want you to go down there and put the ball in the end zone.
There it is. Oh, it's picked off.
Intercepted.
He picked him off. What a huge play from Miami Valley Christian.
MVCA is cheering, and yet the side judge is signaling an incomplete pass there. Nate Cox ended up with the ball in his belly there, and he is swearing up and down.
Must have slid out in the
in a very
mud.
polite Christian way. He's swearing up and down that he really did catch it. He baited Moffitt on that.
You
throw.
dirty refs.
Yeah.
You dirty rat.
He was a lurking linebacker there, and he was reading Moffitt's on
4th and 10. Look at this. They're setting up for a field goal.
I think they're going to go for this.
Oh, you're right. We got to find out. Mr. Broadcaster next to me knows the team better than anyone. We'll find out about their kicking game at the commercial break if we ever have a commercial
And
break.
a whistle
Timeout.
blows, and Coach
We have a
Tucker's gonna
commercial
take
break.
Timeout. You wanted a commercial break?
I do.
You got a commercial break.
Mr. Broad, what's your name again, my friend? Hey, I'm Dan too. I was wondering
Put him on the headset, Neal. Give him your headset for a second.
Okay, sure. This is
Real
Dan
quickly.
Markham. He's
Dan
the PA,
Markham is the PA announcer. We gotta do this
for New
quickly.
Miami.
We got to do this very quickly.
That's okay. I want to know what kind of field goal kicking game the New Miami
In
has.
the past couple home games that we've had, haven't had a very big extra point team or anything like that. Field goal, punting has been very weak on both sides. I mean, the Vikings have been, I seen here at about 5 o'clock, they were out practicing, trying to get some practice in with Bo McGraw as the kicker. I mean, a very big improvement from last season as we didn't see much kicking game at all.
Okay, very good.
Handing the bag over.
Yeah, that's fine. We were watching. Yeah, Bo McGraw was out there, and he was hitting a couple of 30-yarders.
Yeah.
And
Before the game, yeah.
Andy Stucker, I think we can probably tell tales outside of school here. He was cracking Neal and me. He was cracking us up by saying, "Yeah, he can make them in practice. If we need him in the game, all we need to do is tell all the fans to leave. And just have him do it, by him, because by himself without the pressure, it's a lot easier.
pressure, yeah.
The
than with
pressure is
everybody
huge.
watching.
All right,
They gotta
well,
do the
no
game.
field goal here, guys. 4th and 10. Huge play coming up.
MVCA going to have bad field position if this is incomplete. And it is
And
incomplete.
it is.
So the Lions will start with the ball inside their own 10-yard line. That's still a win for New Miami.
Oh, it's a huge win because
Field position.
I'll tell you, if you kick the field goal there, doing the math, you're up by 5. You're forcing the opposition to score a touchdown to beat you. Now, the opposition, that being the Lions, they have proved they can't kick a field goal either. They're down by 2, which a field goal could win. So maybe the Lions can kick a field goal. Now, their kickoff to start this half was pretty nice. So we'll see how the kicking game comes into play here later.
Penalties absolutely killed it
Yes, they did, Neal.
Yeah.
in that drive because 10-yard line, good place to be
Yep.
defensively.
Handoff to Snow. Snow is trampled over a little bit there and gains maybe a yard at most. Dan, I'm going to read you off
Yes.
MVCA's scores, just
Okay.
their scores
Okay.
in their games.
All right.
38,
All right. Field goal.
0,
Okay.
16,
Okay.
16,
2 8s, 2 8s,
8,
2 8s,
6,
8 6.
14.
That means they kicked one field goal, the 38.
And I almost wonder if that might be some form of, 5
Yeah.
touchdowns with
Let's see. Well, let's do the math. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 touchdowns and a safety is 38.
how about 6 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, or 1 2-point conversion that was good.
There you
And the
go.
other 5 that were not.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the-
Okay. There you go. Well,
So
we might not.
I doubt MVCA has attempted anything this year.
So, unlike the Detroit Lions, who have always had great kickers, Jason Hansen, Matt Prater. These Lions are searching for that kicking game.
One other score to let you know about real quickly here at Nippert Stadium at halftime. The Cincinnati Bearcats only 17-3 leading Temple.
Bill Cosby rooting for Temple.
Nah!
Jello pudding.
Out the difference play there when you play the Bearcats.
Oh.
We'll be right back here from Merrifield. 8-6 at the end of the third
We got
quarter.
a Jello pudding pop commercial coming up for Bill Cosby.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
To me,
We are back.
12 minutes to go. We're starting the fourth quarter, folks. And huge drive here, I think, especially for New Miami, because they want to keep this good field position.
It's been a long season for the Madison Mohawks. They're down 35-0 to Brookville right now at the end of the third quarter.
Oh, my goodness.
Scramble. Not a lot of room there for Elijah Walters, who was brought down, sacked in the backfield.
So they were trying to pass there, obviously, if they sacked the quarterback, but it's just an ugly play.
Got to come up with something. And right now, the line play has been the big difference in the second half. Offensive and defensive line advantage New Miami here in the second half of the season.
Yes, 3rd and 9 here. Just huge play. We got to see
Probably
if
11, Dan. It's on the other side of the stick.
Oh, you're right. 3rd and 11. MVCA needs to get out of this hole.
They at least need to get out of the shot on their own goal line. The punting game cannot be all that strong. Quick pass through the arms of Ian Julian. It was there. It was there. Wet ball, slippery field, slippery night.
This is not going to be good. Kicking game is questionable. They're going to be kicking out of their
Let's
end zone.
see.
Yep.
Let's see where New Miami's punt returner is lining up. Look on the television set.
He won't
okay. Now
he won't
that
even be at midfield.
they're putting him at the 40.
40, yeah.
I would put him
40
at
going in. Yeah,
I would put him at the. I would put him at the 30. We'll see where it
what
goes.
kind of punt.
He could be surprised.
He should be up there.
It's decent, and it hits the ground.
Oh, look at that kick!
gonna let it
Wow, that punter said, "Heck with you, Dan Vogt."
He had time to pick that up and go.
He did. That was I'll call it a misplay there, Neal. Wouldn't you?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Jaden Strong approached that football like an oxygen molecule with an extra electron. He had no interest whatsoever.
Oh my! I was waiting for a strong reference of an opposite of a strong, and you throw the molecules at us.
Little chemistry reference there, right?
Oh my!
The three of us have been trying to have good chemistry all night. So
We've had Bill Cosby imitations and chemistry within 2 minutes of each other. We bring it all to you here on the Butler County High School Sports
All
Report.
science trembles.
Tammy
before
Vogt, if
you.
you're listening, your Franklin Heights Golden Falcons are losing 51-0 again.
She has never mentioned their sports program ever, and probably for that reason.
Worthington Kilbourne is the
Pitch.
chef du jour tonight in that matchup. And Jaden Strong is going to go ahead and take that for about 9 yards.
You know what Jaden said? I'll make up for my bad play on that punt return.
I'll make it.
Yes.
Ethan Farmer copyright. He's got 3 names. No, Ethan Farmer with the tackle. I'm always looking at who tackles because typically they're overlooked a lot.
Oh, they are. They do. They absolutely are.
I'm going to try to
This has been a defensive game, Neal.
try to
Absolutely.
throw some love out there a little bit to these
8 to
guys
6.
'cause they're working hard.
The defenders appreciate that very much. Strong in motion. This is Civarella up the middle. That's going to be easy enough for a first down. And let's also give some love out to Dalton Gentry, number 65, the offensive lineman who was downfield pancake blocking one of the Lions, freeing up Civarella.
Let me tell you something, Joel.
All right.
When you don't announce the defensive players' tackles and stuff,
Yep.
they get defensive.
Oh, my.
Sorry.
New Miami is offended by that.
Yeah, it was an offensive comment.
It was very offensive,
yeah.
yes. Hand off.
That was a short
Civarella. Spin move. Met. And finally brought down.
21? Nope.
The guy at the bottom is
66.
the guy that actually had him around the ankles, and that is Isaac Chastain.
Chastain. 6 foot, 225 pounds.
Freshman.
He's thick.
Oh, that's right. Grade 9.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm impressed.
He had a little help from his buddies up high, but he was the one that was around his ankles.
Yeah, he was the one underneath
any
it,
further.
Second 9. I still say they're going to run Civarella up the middle. It's just the way they're lined up.
Looks like Hayes is now lined up there.
There he goes.
Cinderella as spell fullback.
Hayes.
He's getting help from Strong.
54 is
Adrian Hart.
And, I mean, that was textbook. Got him right around the knees, kept on his feet, buckled him, brought him down.
I was impressed with Jaden Strong, the wide receiver. They were kind of pushing his running back, Dawson Hayes, through that tackle for another yard forward on the lunge. That's going to make it 3rd and 5.
Good things to say on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
2 more runs coming up the middle.
3 wide receivers, left side of the formation here. Strong now coming in motion.
Quarterback draw. I love it. Straight into that room. He could go
all the way to the end zone. Everett Buffett for 34 yards, and Andy Stuckert loves it. Until the flag is thrown behind the play, and he slams his headset in disgust.
Oh my goodness!
I saw
holding.
I saw the defensive line in the middle was so thin.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the left, the right, and I thought, oh, down the middle. And he waited, and it opened like the Red Sea.
Oh my goodness, Joel, you said he slammed his headphone down in disgust. Do you think it was because
of the holding penalty, probably?
Do you think it was a bad call that he's mad about, or you think he thought that was an unnecessary hold? We had the touchdown.
Well, he just talked to the side judge a little bit there, and his body language was a little defeated, like that may have been a good call, but man, you took that good play away from me.
I got
he wasn't arguing very angrily or profusely, but kind of, I'm not mad at you, just disappointed.
Wow.
3rd down and 6. High snap. Moffitt is going to try to scramble. He's not going to have much room, and he's wrapped up by Nick Beckham. Ball pops loose at the end. Both side judges emphatically pointing at the ground that the ball popped loose after the knee had already gone down.
I noticed when he was carrying the ball through the middle, he was holding it out there a little bit. That didn't surprise me.
The other great thing about this drive for New Miami, look at that clock.
Oh, I know.
We're down below 8.5.
This is Joel Madden football here.
8-6 is a very winnable game, you know.
All right, 4th down and 5, guys.
This is a punt formation.
And
New Miami's going to try to pin them deep.
And to think the Vikings were stopped at the 10-yard line from scoring.
That's right.
Yeah. Moffitt's going to try to pin him right back out at the 10-yard line.
Oh, that's a
fake punt.
Fake punt. He's going to run it. He's got enough room. Civarella springs the block. Another block spun by Jarek Holland, and the fake punt touchdown.
32 yards.
Emmerich Moffitt.
As I said earlier in the game, a trick play might be a huge thing, and look at that, a fake punt quarterback run.
Here's a question for you, Joel. And this is really a humorous type question, but he ran for 32 yards.
Yes.
But that snap, I think it was at the 40-yard line. Wouldn't you call that a 40-yard touchdown?
No.
Like a place kicker would get a 50-yard field goal out of that.
And about 20 years from now, when he's old and his knees are sore, he'll say, I ran 40 yards out of shotgun formation. But right now it's an official 32-yard run.
32, certainly.
We have a timeout being taken by New Miami to set up whatever they want to do. This is a huge play to set up possibly a 2-score game. That's enormous if New Miami can pull it off. Key blocks there on that play by both Nathan Civarella out in space as well as number 54, the offensive lineman, Jarek Holland, pulling around and pancaking the last guy that was needed to spring Moffitt the rest of the way to the end zone. Huge fake punt play.
Moppin just cut right up the middle to his left. Like I said, the Red Sea parted again. I'm standing outside here looking through the window, and I see that opening. And boom, did he go right to it. Almost like you were playing Madden football, Danny, with your controllers. Make him go left, and he goes left, you know. It's kind of fun to watch that and see it, and see him execute it on the fly.
I almost wonder, and this would be a good question for Coach Stuckert at the game, if that was an RPO, a run-punt option, where he might have been able to kick it if he didn't like what he saw. It kind of looked like he had either choice. And then he went ahead and pulled the ball.
You wonder if maybe he decided to run all on his own. Boy, that would have been gutsy.
Bo McGraw, you want to put him up by 9 points? Here's an opportunity on an extra point. It's up.
And it's
it
wide.
flutters to the
It's
left.
wide.
It is long enough. No good. So,
crucial
7:55
miss.
left to go in the fourth quarter. It's 14-6. New Miami, you are watching the Butler County High School Sports Report
And listening.
television network.
Hey, sports fans! Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
Out-of-town scoreboard updates, or I guess Butler County scoreboard updates. Aiden Brown with a long touchdown run at Robinson Field. The Ross Rams have opened up a can on Harrison, 48-17. Still in the third quarter, running clock there with the cow dump going on at the barn tonight. Tonight is the big fundraiser. Talawanda finally punches one into the end zone. 79-yard touchdown pass for Talawanda.
Wow.
Edgewood still leads that game 42-7. And Baden, after 2 fourth-down conversions, Landon Vitterick has a 15-yard touchdown run. Baden and CJ tied at 28 midway through the third quarter there at Glass Stadium in Dayton.
Glass Stadium. I'm going to have to know the story behind that one, Joel.
There's your flag.
Kickoff out of bounds. Marion Local leading New Bremen 28-19 in that revenge.
Are there far away Marion schools, or are they all just local?
all local. Yes.
Okay, they don't have
There is a Marion, Indiana. They may not be local. New Bremen played them the first game.
Marion, Indiana, non-local. They should name themselves.
Actually, New Bremen just scored there, so now it is 28-26 in favor of the
I just
Flyers.
thought Marion should be enough. Why do they have to throw the local in
Yeah,
there?
why do they have to be local? I don't know.
I don't know. It's like this. The Mary's Rough Riders. St. Mary's is good enough for me.
Yeah, the Memorial Rough Riders. Yeah. Into the third quarter. Elder trailing Roncalli, Indiana, 21-7.
Is that a person's name?
Indianapolis Roncalli.
Ron Cali.
That's right.
Man, that guy has
One
some
word.
pool, doesn't
Roncalli.
he? He has some pool.
The sack
almost.
slipped out and
Nope.
thrown wildly out of bounds by Elijah Walters. Into the stands. That might have gone to the concession stand.
Yeah, someone over there with a hamburger looks like it knocked it out of his hand.
Man.
Did it make the line of scrimmage?
It did.
It did.
It looked pretty wide, yeah. I couldn't see from my view.
Guy's looking at his hamburger down there. He's a little
Halftime
dejected.
score up north. This is a nice one for Baden Ross Monroe. Bath leads Wapakoneta 14-7.
Bath.
Wapak. Love for the Bath. I believe they're the Wildcats. They're playing Wapak, the Redskins.
Rough Riders would be a better name for Bath. Nice
Incomplete intended
hits.
for Noah Kroger, the guy who caught the touchdown earlier.
Yes.
Broken up by Josh Woods.
He laid the woods.
He did lay the woods. His Kroger card was denied at the register there.
I think that ball had a little pepper on it.
Oh, Peppa!
Yeah,
Third
little
10. I like the Lions here kind of open up the passing game. It's so
It's a nice strong throw, but I think that it surprised his receiver.
yeah.
It was on him. I watched him warming up before the game, and they were doing lots of throws before the receivers would even turn their head back toward the line.
Yeah.
Many of them were not catching them, so they're struggling with that. That was a hard thrown ball.
It was a hard thrown ball and a good stick by Woods there on the defense.
Third and 10.
Big important play for the Lions.
There you go.
Thrown out into the flat.
He's short
It
though.
was caught by Hudson.
4 yards short of the first down marker.
And Hudnall is indeed short. He's wrapped up by New Miami. It looks like the safety
44.
Cirillo Lakes as well as Josh Woods.
Josh Woods.
in on the tackle.
Hard to get them numbers. Are green on
Feel
Green
it.
on black. A little white outline would be huge.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. A little white outline would be huge on the numbers.
Imagine a rainy night here with a muddy field.
Oh yeah, even harder.
Fourth down.
and 3.
No punting here.
MVCA. It may take them 7 minutes to get the ball all the way down there. So Young going to get one more possession
Well,
of
they
this.
got the play off.
Delayed handoff on the cross buck. Is he going to have enough?
No.
Dawson
No.
Hayes meets him
They
just before the 45-yard line. He needed to get to the yard line. He's going to be spotted short.
Joel on the stop was Tug Jones again.
Tug Jones and Dawson Hayes come together and drive him sideways enough
I always give the credit to the guy who gets up last.
I don't know why they would do a measurement because they had to get exactly on
no reason to measure
the 45.
There is a player down on the far side of the field there.
Okay.
Baton Rams,
Looks like a
Carson
Viking.
Cheek with an interception, and Landon Vitterick follows it up with a 56-yard touchdown pass to Cooper Fear on the very next play. Rams have scored 2 touchdowns in less than a minute, and Baton leads CJ 35-28 in a wild one up in Dayton tonight. Rick Casano is going to have plenty to write about there.
Getting up, Joel. That's good. That's number 75. Damian Pennington? Yep.
Called his name a few times on defense tonight. He's had a nice game.
He's a key player.
He's a little bigger than Chad Pennington, I'll say that. And he's getting up after an injury, unlike Chad Pennington.
Poor Chad Pennington.
Oh, gosh.
Didn't make it, Joel. First down.
For New Miami.
Well, you know what? He's
New Miami.
6'1", 235. I bet Chad Pennington
Nice.
might have weighed 220.
There you
We're
go.
talking about the old New York Jets quarterback. He was with a lot of teams.
Yeah, he was with Marshall back when Randy Moss, I believe, was.
Oh,
How
wow.
about that?
That's good, Joe. I did not know
Back in
that.
the old college days.
Oh,
Tammy,
my.
your guys gave up another touchdown. Worthington Kilbourne 58-0 over Franklin Heights.
With a name like Kilbourne, they're going to win every game. All right.
Vikings going with great field position
Oh, yes.
at the Lions 44.
They love that fullback dive straight up the middle.
Civarella up the
Yep.
middle. It's been there the entire second half. And God bless Andy Stuckert. Give him credit. He has seen that.
He has found it, and let's watch the MVCA Lions linebacker placement here, because if they're going to just run this trap off right tackle, left tackle, either one. Let's see, where are the linemen at? Now they got him moved up close in the middle. They're daring him to do this play now. They do it anyway. And look at that!
Up the middle, spins out of one tackle, and finally Nate Cox brings him down.
As a matter of fact, Joel, Nate Cox tackled him the last time. So he seems like he's the only one that can get him down. And I'm telling you, Nate Cox, he's got his hands full.
New Miami guys, they're just dominating right now at this whole second half. I mean, it's 14-6. We're down to 6 minutes. This is obviously the drive of the game for both teams. New Miami wants to end it right here and score.
1st and 10 for New Miami. They are now inside the 30-yard line, going in, trying to put their foot on the throats of the Lions. It's Dawson Hayes spelling Civarella, as Civarella's on the sideline getting a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, that Ethan Farmer there.
Yep.
FarmersOnly.com. He comes through for him.
He is Farmer. Okay.
Oh, my.
I have worn out my welcome officially now.
The unfortunate result of the night. Cleveland Benedictine was hosting Erie, Pennsylvania Cathedral Prep. Cathedral Prep drove 2 hours plus to Cleveland to play Benedictine, only to get lightning down enough to drive right back home.
Oh, my goodness.
Not even COVID related. Boom! Handoff up the middle, the fullback dive that has been the most popular play for Stuckert's Vikings the entire second half. That time it was repelled by the interior of the Lion defensive line. We'll give Ethan Geiger credit for the tackle there for the Lions. And it's 3rd and 9.
Good choice. We're under 5 minutes, guys. You have to look at time here and the ability for Miami Valley Christian to score quickly. I just don't see it.
No.
So this might be, the play of the game. If they get another first down, it might be over.
3rd and 9. Moffitt's in the shotgun. He's going to run this thing. Little quarterback delay. Let his block set up. Get outside.
There he goes.
He's got room to the pylon and into the end zone for a 24-yard touchdown run.
Well, when you score like that, it is the play of the game, isn't it?
I'd say at this point, it's decided.
Emmerich Moffitt.
Dandy Don Meredith would be singing right now, wouldn't he? Neal?
Oh, the party's over.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Oh, one of the funniest things I'll ever remember that Don Meredith did. There was like 7 possessions for a team.
For you youngsters, this is Monday Night Football, 1970s and 80s.
There were 7 possessions for one team in a row.
Yeah.
And 6 fumbles and 6 punts and 1 fumble. And he said, punt, 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 fumble.
Extra point is good.
Offit runs in the 2-point conversion.
That's good, Neal.
I love that. I'll never forget that.
That is good.
22-6. New Miami Vikings here at the Village. All smiles for Coach Andy Stuckert.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Dan Vogt, you were talking about a complete reversal off air there from the
Yeah,
first half.
I'm wondering if MVCA has played on a grass field before, because I think, you know, the footing, the domination, the slipping, the lack of passing, you know, wet grass field, you know, tall turf, that might has something to do with it. Do you have an answer to that?
I really don't. I don't know about MVCA's field.
This is
games at home.
a tale of two halves. I honestly went into halftime thinking that MVCA, you know, probably was going to win this game. And, boy, what a change of events. Short kick.
Here comes the return. That looks like that is Elijah Walters, the quarterback, who is also the up man. Division 7 football. Gotta love it.
Multifunctional, multi-skilled.
That's it. Well, you made an electric football reference last week or 2 weeks ago, Dan.
Yes.
The quarterback was always in yellow, and he also was the kicker, correct?
Yeah, we never used those guys when we played.
You never used those guys?
No, we never
I'll
did.
guarantee you, Dan, you never kicked a field goal with that little soft,
The little tiny little
felt football that you used to have.
Looks like a piece of fun.
I'll tell you a little electric football play we used to do after this play. Hold on.
It was a circle play, I'm sure.
No, it's even funner.
1st and 10. Snow, even funner, says Danny Vogt.
Oh, I said that.
All right, so
you guys- okay.
when we got our electric football players down by the goal line, we would put the running back actually on top of another player, and we would do we call that the dive play.
That's right.
Usually it would go, and the guy would fall backwards or fall forward and score. Sometimes he'd fall backwards, and the little cotton pellet would fall out of his arm, and it would be a fumble.
Yeah.
And every player would run to the sidelines, and you'd have to wait 12 minutes for some guy to
recover the fumble.
fumble.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
Oh, my goodness, electric football.
And the ball just danced around.
Wasted afternoons with that game. It was great.
Ooh.
Bad snap on 2nd and 9.
Got to get rid of the ball.
Can't get rid of it.
Not enough time.
Dawson Hayes wraps him up and spins him around like an electric football player in the backfield.
That took very little time. He had no chance of getting out of that.
He really didn't have any chance at all.
So it felt bad for him.
4th quarter score, Bellbrook 49-7 over Oakwood. That's good news for the Baden Rams, who beat Bellbrook earlier this year.
3rd down and about a city block.
I always used to say 3rd and forever.
There you go.
3rd.
It looks like 20
from here to Red's
21.
hamburger stand, right?
Pretty good long.
Yeah, 3rd and 20
22.
plus. Yeah,
They have 22 on the scoreboard.
I like that. I can go 22.
Blitz right up the middle.
Time the blitz.
He shot that gap.
Ducks it, but can't get much farther than that. Could Elijah Walters? Some of these 8-gap blitzes have been a little intense. They'd probably be illegal in Tecmo.
Yeah, that's an illegal Tecmo blitz.
That's an illegal Tecmo blitz.
Here's a new name. Dalton Gentry on that tackle, number 65.
He's the center, I believe. He's in the thick of a lot of things, but he's not gotten a lot of credit from us because.
All right, 4th and 21. If the game isn't over yet, it's going to be over here.
Unless
they're punting.
Are they going to punt?
They are punting. I don't get this.
This makes no sense to me.
I don't get that either.
And so a punt.
They're conceding, maybe. I don't know.
Unless they hope they can get a fumble on that. The only thing I can think of is Bill Tenor.
Exactly.
In the playoff game.
In the playoff game against West Jefferson.
Yes.
He did that.
I was there.
Down by 2 scores.
I was there. He punted, and I was aggravated, and I turned around to a few people that I sat next to, sorry, Bill Tenorn, I just said he conceded the game. It's over.
That's
and
it.
I got up and I left.
Yeah.
And that was it. And they didn't score, and it was over.
That was a little surprising there that they went ahead and punted the ball. I mean, what's the difference if you don't convert it, right?
Maybe on the previous play the quarterback got hurt. Does he play defense out here now? We can see if he's out there.
Or Danny, it's over and they're putting other players on.
Quarterback is out there,
There's no other players to put in. It's Division 7.
That's
he's not hurt, so it was a flat out. We give up.
Yeah.
They wove the
Unless they
flag.
were hoping maybe in a special teams play to strip the guy on the return. That might have been the only thing you could hope for there.
That's hoping for lightning.
Toss sweep to Luke McGraw. Luke McGraw is going to get a holding penalty called behind him on the play. So all of that will be for naught.
Luke McGraw, fantasy football owners just lost a couple points there.
Anderson leads Milford 21-7 halfway through the third quarter. The Raptors.
Oh, you can tell my disdain for that name.
End of the third. Up at Dayton. Baden has a 35-28 lead after 3 quarters with Shamadad Julian.
Slim margin.
CJ was held without a point in the third quarter. I wonder if that means that Coach Slogger, the defensive coordinator for Baden, has made some halftime adjustments.
He probably amped it up.
Joe Slogger, he was an absolute beast. Class of 80. I think he might still have the most tackles in a season as a Baden Ram. He was a machine.
First down and 15 now. And a handoff up the middle. We'll see if MVCA decides to take their timeouts or not.
I don't think they are.
I'm going to
If
guess
they're
that they're going to
punting,
punt.
I would say no. Let's give
surprising.
some love to number 13, Noah Kroger, on the tackle.
In one of the other back and forth games of the night, Deer Park with a 70-yard touchdown run. They lead 42-34 over, I believe they were playing Madeira.
Anyone that needs any additional high school information, a great source after this game is to go to WMOH 1450 AM. Joel Sackenheim travels there after these games and discusses football. It's always a good, knowledgeable show. You can hear a lot of good things on WMOH.
All the playoff points. And if you're outside the listening area, you can go to WMOH.com.
And this one's coming
Stream
back.
it online as well. Another flag on the play, says Neal, and he is correct.
At this point in time, a couple knees might be in order. You don't want anybody to get hurt here.
No need for it right now.
Yeah.
Seems like with the penalties, you just can't get the clock drained.
Yeah.
Keep stopping.
You're
But
right.
you do get the down back again. So
Yeah.
there is
Well,
that.
that's true.
There is that.
We'll give him a 10-second runoff. We'll take it.
All right, come on, do the right thing and take a couple knees here. I guess it's always good to have live practice, so to
I
speak.
mean, a victory formation can't be that difficult to, draw up and run,
Oh, yeah. They're going to march off the penalty. They're going to decline the penalty. So they're going to take third down in the result of the play.
What was that call, Joel? I didn't even get it.
Probably a hold.
Oh, on what side? I would thought
It was
on the
on. It was on
offense.
New Miami.
New Miami, yeah.
MVCA declined the penalty. They took the down.
I think one of the
Third
things
down.
I've learned from
Who took
Joel
the timeout? Lions. Okay, go ahead.
just that where the flag is thrown typically is in the location of the foul.
Oh, yeah.
So and that looked like in the kind of the backfield outside the line area.
Sometimes you will
for
even
New
see them
Miami.
throw a flag and then move and pick up the flag and throw it a second time to closer to where some other official also threw a flag to get
New
it.
Miami, congratulations on this upcoming victory. It looks like New Miami can get some playoff points here and possibly get up into that top 16, as Joe and I were discussing, and Neal
They're
too.
not going to be dead in the top 16 tonight.
No, but
it
they're
goes
on
a
the
long way
way.
to help them.
Sure it does.
Win one of your last two, St. Bernard Elmwood Place or Lockland in the next 2 weeks, and there's a real shot of slipping in there and getting, as Andy Stuckert said for your prize, a road game at Marion Local.
That's not a prize.
That's the Christmas present everybody wants to open, right?
That's like getting a pair of socks.
There's your knee. There's your knee. Yeah, Mom always told me a 1,000-mile journey starts with a single step. But
I like
I'm not
that.
saying this is 1,000 miles to get to number 16.
You only got 3 steps
But
to
it
be
is-
able to do,
it is a
right?
step.
Give him 3 steps. Give him 3 steps.
Oh,
Thank you,
I
Leonard
hear that.
Skinner.
Leonard
There you go.
Skinner.
All right. We gotta throw a little music reference in there.
We're down under 20 seconds now, and I don't even know if they even have to run a play.
The play clock.
Let's watch the back
It's 4
judge.
down. So, yeah, the back judge will have it. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep, they're going to run out.
Penalty.
And there's the penalty. 1 second left.
They said it's good enough.
That's close enough for them. All right. The new Miami Vikings, 22-6. Big man.
Joel, every time we've been here calling New Miami, they have won.
They did not go when you weren't here.
I weren't here.
You weren't here. You were on vacation.
Yeah, New Miami's glad to see me. I was on vacation. I did not see New Miami
Danny,
lose.
you're fine. You just forgot. Every time I've been here, they won.
Yes.
Isn't this a great venue, Neal?
I love it.
I love it,
always
too.
loved New Miami and the closeness
Oh, yeah.
to Hamilton. You know,
Yeah.
Easy to get to.
easy to get to.
And look at that. Look at the field. You don't have the track, which I know you like, but
That's
you
okay.
can stand literally 5 feet from the coach, right up against the fence if you want to.
It's funny that visiting stands appear to be almost set up on the track. Or at
Yeah,
least
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
it's been repurposed.
Well, back when you had Taft and Garfield, and
Right.
pre-Hamilton High, so this is prior to 1980, okay?
Yeah.
And Baden would play their games at Taft, and they would play their games at Garfield. And Taft Stadium was always a little bit nicer, but I liked Garfield Stadium because you could literally go right next to the field almost. I'm like 3 feet away, and I used to watch Coach Malone screaming and yelling. He'd drop his partial out of his mouth sometimes, put it back in, just screaming and hollering at those players.
Oh, Danny, I love those days.
Spitting his teeth out. It was good times.
You mentioned Dirk Allen, who's currently our Baden announcer, but I was the home announcer.
Oh, yes.
on the
You were
PA.
Dan Markham.
Yes. Well, Neal, I did get the spot for you a couple games.
remember that.
Yes. I was there in the booth with you, hearing you call the game. So this was pre-Dirk. Yes, it was.
Yeah, well, way pre-Dirk, but
those were fun times.
I'd love to get back to that. It's too late now, but
It's never too late.
It's too late, baby.
No, Carol King.
It's too late.
No,
I had a DJ business, and it was picking up, and it seemed like Baden at that time played on Saturday nights.
right,
typically.
and that's of course peak wedding time.
Wedding year-round.
Yeah.
But yes, in the fall. So I had to tell Coach Malone, sorry, I can't make it again, but I did find a fella who subbed in for me. And he came to me, Coach came to me the following year and asked me if I wanted to do it. I said, Coach, probably not, because I've just not been that dependable. And I regret that, but after that, other people had come and filled in. And Dick Schmidt succeeded me.
God love Dick
and
Schmidt.
He did that for
Dick
my goodness,
Dick
a long
Schmidt
time.
Field down there at Dale Joyce Park.
Yeah, I mean, I was
CYO Field.
I was in between two announcers that had done that for decades. And,
Yeah.
I think it was Bob Menzie who
Okay.
used to do it before I stepped in, because he sort of retired from it, and then Dick came in after I left, and then since then I think it's been Dirk. So
Well,
fun.
didn't you
Fun.
also do some CYO games at Joyce Park for a few years up there at Dick Schmidt Field? It's called
I'll
Dick
tell you what,
Schmidt
I'm going to
Field.
give praise and credit to Dick Schmidt for all
Yeah.
his dedication to the youth programs.
Oh, yeah, he was there every
He did
Sunday.
them every Sunday. Now, I would show up once a year,
Right.
and I'd bring the DJ equipment, like I said, my DJ business,
Oh.
and I would amp it up with music. The kids
You
loved
played
it.
the NFL film stuff.
Oh my goodness! I
yeah.
just loved it. It was really fun to do, and so. But it was a lot of work outside. Into the steps in the press box were kind of numbering and
Sure.
and
Well, you had to
speakers
carry
and
those
equipment up there.
big Sirwin Vegas up the steps.
Oh, my speakers, yeah. But anyway, I loved doing it. But I was pretty done after doing it 1 year. But I kind of love watching and announcing football. I have to tell you the story, Joel, if we got the time.
We do.
A good friend, former mayor of Hamilton, Tom Nye.
Tom Nye.
We had third
The science
fourth-
guy.
We had
He is an optometrist.
Yes.
Eye doctor.
he had a third or fourth grade team for football, and what they did at the time was the coaches were out on the field and they did their own officiating. They didn't have a referee. They didn't pay a
Right.
referee to do third and fourth grade.
Right.
So I guess there was a lineup before a play, and Tom stopped the play, or somebody stopped the play and said, yeah, that was an offsides. So I got on the microphone and said, okay, it was offsides against St. Pete's. And Tom yelled up at me, no, that was a flagrant offside. I'll just never forget that story.
That's fantastic.
Big win for Coach Andy Stuckert here.
Oh, yes.
22-6 over MVCA. We'll take one last check at this chart before we sign off for the night.
Sure.
Obviously, I can't change the colors mid-graphic here, but MVCA, that's going to be the first second-level points that New Miami's gotten all year long. 7.5.
Finally.
Second-level points. That's huge. That's nice. And so they're going to creep up. They're going to be above Richmont and Franklin Furnace Green, who's on a bye because they got COVID canceled, it looks like. No, that was last week. They play McDermott Northwest tomorrow night.
Have we ever had to cancel that's not COVID just because they just didn't want to play that night? That would be interesting.
Cleveland Benedictine and the Cathedral play for the Lightning up there in Cleveland, right?
A George Carlin reference. It's raining outside. We can't come out to play. So I
would think that New Miami at least could try to jump past Richmont, Green, and Southeastern Local at least tonight. Fort Loramie is sitting there at 18. They ended up having their game canceled and had to schedule Division II Sydney at the last minute. Fort Loramie was really, really good about 3 years ago when New Miami made the playoffs the first time. They are not that good now.
Okay.
Beaver Eastern, that's reachable, and then you're trying to get into the top 16 beyond that. So we'll see.
I have never heard of Beaver Eastern. I'm learning new schools every week.
Eastern High School, the Eastern Eagles, I believe they are, and they're from the town of Beaver, Ohio.
Wow.
Eagle and Beavers.
The eager Beavers.
Well, Beaver Creek. Yeah. Beaver Creek is the Beavers. The Eastern Eagles are from Beaver, Ohio.
That is a tongue twister, my friend.
They're playing Portsmouth Notre Dame tonight, who is 5-1. So that's another.
Shout out to the UC Bearcats.
Yeah, for beating
knocking off Notre Dame.
And
let me tell you something. My son, I have to give a shout out to Jacob, my oldest son. He has been born and raised and ingrained in the NFL football. Always thought college football was inherently unfair, and think about it. I mean, Ohio State plays 7 or 8 home games every year. They get huge amounts of money, and there's teams that schedule Ohio State like Akron. They like to pay off, okay? That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
But he got to go see, for his first college football game, thanks to his friend, he got to see UC play Notre Dame.
Oh, my God.
That was Jacob's first game. He brought back pictures. He was impressed with the Notre Dame band, and I said, son, if you want to see a college band, I am going to have to take you to an Ohio State game.
Oh, Danny.
Or to a Slacker MEAC game.
There you go.
I had my first experience 2 years ago, Danny.
Yeah.
I took my fiance. She's a great big Notre Dame fan.
Sure.
We all love Notre Dame, but just all the traditions.
Yeah.
You know, the choral group that sang.
Sure.
Rubbing Newt Rockney's nose. And that's a little statue.
Did you get to hit the sign that said play like champions today?
That's only for players to do. But we saw the touchdown Jesus mural on the library. Notice it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, you know.
You've been there.
But it was really cool how they did the push-ups with people. You know, they did those push-ups every time they scored. Every point they had to do a push-up. And they beat to death, I think it was a Ball State team, like 55-0. And when they scored that 55th point, they had to do 55 push-ups. They were getting tired.
That's tough. That's tough.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up here for Dan Vogt, for Neal Sackenheim, for Chris Vogt, and every other Vogt known to man.
And Joey Vogt, who's getting married tomorrow.
To Madison Horsley, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Madison, they named the Madison Mohawks after her.
That's true. She Division 5? I don't know what division she was.
I don't know what division
How many
she is.
second level points is Joey getting?
Joey going to get for getting married, yeah.
That's reckless, Joel. Keep going.
This is Joel Sackenheim from Merrifield signing off. It's the New Miami Vikings 22, the Miami Valley Christian Academy 6.
Good night.
Hey, sports fan. Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.